Ladies and gentlemen, how we all doing tonight? How we all doing tonight? Is everybody good? Is everybody good? Nice hard day at work? Anyone? Jobs. They're funny. Um I today, hold on. I had gotten up today. I don't know why. For whatever reason, I had stayed up literally for 40. It was for whatever reason, I did the longest stretch of time awake I've ever done, like ever. It was like over 2 days. I don't know why I did this. I don't know what possessed me to do this, but I did it. And it was fucking insane. But anyways, I finally was able to sleep. And I went to bed, and I saw, which is fine because I don't have class Mondays. So I slept all Monday, and then I get up today, and um, I get up today, and I have Spanish. I don't think it's a big deal. But then I realized I have a fucking test, and I've not been studying, and I guess I just wasn't checking. So I had this test, and yeah, I think I did okay, all things considered. But yeah, I mean, it's been a day. I don't know if some guy was trying to, so I don't know what the fuck that exchange was. I was walking to the grocery store, and as I'm walking, there's homeless guys over asking you for shit. But some dude, I had my AirPods in. I thought he was trying to talk to me, so I said, "What?" And he says, "What?" back to me, and I said, "What?" I thought you said something. So then he gets up and like he's like in my face, like, "What?" Well, like in a mocking way. I was like, "I thought you were talking to me." I don't know if he's trying to. I don't know if he's like schizo or trying to fight. I don't know what the fuck the deal is with that. But that was like a weird encounter today. But yeah, I just got back from the grocery store a few hours ago, did some dinner prep, and I'm ready to go. We have a pretty not really a planned docket tonight, so we're gonna kind of take it as we go. I've written some things down. I have some things saved, but we'll kind of go from there. Um, of course, we're gonna be covering Chibi Reviews, my least favorite victim on the internet, a complete crybaby bitch male soy boy, uh, pedo defending loser. I don't like this guy. I don't like him at all. The main reason I see it's not abnormal to be. It's not the pedo angle that makes me interested in him so much because it's like we're desensitized to that online. Everybody is getting exposed every week for liking kids. So somebody defending artwork, that somebody defending what I think is pedophilic artwork isn't really anything new. So it's not really that in and of itself is not anomalous and therefore interesting to me in the course of coverage. What does interest me about this guy is how fucking manipulative he is. I think that this guy is in love with the notion of getting attention for being a victim, and will actively do things to victimize himself or to stoke on people who will victimize themselves so then he can talk about it from here to the ends of the earth. And I think that's manipulative as fuck. That's pathetic as fuck. And I think that he sucks completely. Not just because he is like in bad faith, using bad faith arguments to defend pedophilic artwork, but also he's just a manipulative scumbag and a whiny bitch. So I'm gonna cover him. People seem to like the last bit of coverage I did on him, as evident by the fact that some of the main clipping accounts, well, not the main, I was told once that the reason I don't get clipped is because I am unclippable. I'm unclippable, apparently. Nobody wants to watch me talk, right? Well, one of our own, who is not a clipper, who started clipping for me, one of our own, Navakva, posted a clip yesterday of the Chibi Reviews segment. And I need to do a quick Streamly shout out once again, because this shit blew up. It didn't necessarily, I think this was the most liked clip of me ever, by far. 928 likes. Super base. We love our Clippers. Clippers are the backbone of this community that invests the most valuable asset that they have, that being time, to promote the growth, marketing, and rise of this organization. And they're greatly appreciated. They have veteran status here. So thank you so much, Navakva, for the clip. Much appreciated. 928 likes equals blew up. Yes, relative to my streams, how much viewers I get, yeah, 928 likes in one day is like a pretty big deal, I would think. Just let me be happy about something, man. Just let me be fucking happy. It's like, oh, it's only 928 likes. Blew up. It's like, what do you get out of that? What the fuck do you possibly get out of that? Just let me smile about one thing. Just one thing. Everyone always needs to add in their little, get in their little jab at the end. Anything I'm ever happy about, or proud of, or excited about. There needs to be that one fucking guy that, not a big deal. Not a big deal. Those types of people are emotional parasites, scum of the earth, that want everybody to be as miserable as they are. And to you people, I feel bad for you. I feel sorry for you. I hope you learn to experience what joy is someday, so that you don't need to try to take mine. Anyways. Yeah, I saw that in the replies. The defense is really weird here. People acting like Chibi is some big YouTuber or something. Why the fuck do you want to own someone so small and insignificant? I'm literally punching up with this. I'm punching up with this. His community, and it's not just his community, the position that he's taken on and become a spokesperson for is one that hundreds of thousands belong to, unfortunately. It's probably even more than that. There's probably even more lolicons out there than just hundreds of thousands. There could be over 1 million. We don't fucking know. Very possibly. It's a big world. But this is not like a small creator by any means. He has 250,000 subs. He's much bigger than myself. His voice does have influence in regards to the fact that we have to fucking hear about him every week. So clearly he has some reach. And this is not somebody who's small by any means. If anything, what Chibi has done is he has taken arguments that have been regularly and popularly used by fringe lolicons on Twitter in the past. Like, people were using these same arguments against me 3 years ago. He's adopted these arguments, and he's litigating them and popularizing them on, I think, the biggest platform they've ever been platformed on, right? Is Rev's Desu bigger than he is? I don't know. But, like, these are common arguments that have been used. They're horrible arguments, but they've been used for quite some time now. And now he's adopted them against somebody of note, which was just going to make them more mainstream. So I think it is absolutely valid to attack him and the dog shit arguments he's decided to publicly make, as he's, for absolutely no personal reasons at all, you can't infer anything about his sexual interests by him taking on this position, but he's decided to become the spokesperson of lolicons. It's been 2 days, not one. Is today the 7th? What the fuck? Dude, I slept for a long time. I thought today's the 7th, yeah. What the fuck? Damn. I was sleeping for a fucking while, bro. But yeah, I mean, it's just like the only possible way you could not defend. I think I don't like words like defend. I think defend can mean, people use it in bad. It can mean a million things, right? I think the correct term would be argue against. What these people are doing, they are arguing against the classification of lolicon material as pedophilic. That's what they're doing. And I disagree. I think lolicon is pedophilic, right? Obviously so. It seems to me, based on my arguments with people, I've heard the other side. I think that I don't think there are any conversation. What I didn't like is when I was arguing about lolicon. What I didn't like was people like saying you're a pedo for even asking questions about this. I like hard conversations. I like being able to talk about these controversial things, ask questions about it. I'm not inherently opposed to people who might have a more, I guess, charitable view than myself. But at the end of the day, what I can conclude is, it seems like the prepubescent traits being depicted is what evokes sexual arousal from lolicons, and that's pedophilic. In at least in my opinion, reading the definition of the term, right? It would be like, for example, if someone was drawing naked men in an anime style, and you were aroused by depictions of the male genitalia. If you were a guy, I'd probably be comfortable saying you were somewhere on like the gay spectrum. I think most people would be. Because it's the male traits that are evoking the arousal. What is like the thing that is depicted that makes lolicon lolicon? Well, it's the depiction of prepubescent girls. It's the prepubescent that makes it any other type of anime image turns into lolicon, right? Sexualized depiction of prepubescent girls. And if that's what arouses you specifically, you're a pedophile. Albeit, right, to be fair, because what they'll do is, well, it's not real kids, it's not real kids, it's not real kids. I'm not saying it is real kids. I'm not saying you've actually gone out and hurt kids, right? That's not what I'm saying at all. And I'm not saying you're the same as someone who has, right? You have these urges, you have these inclinations, and I guess I'm glad you've not acted on them, at least in like the facet of victimizing a kid. But let's call it what it is. It is pedophilic. It is a pedophilic attraction. It's pedophilic arousal. And anyone who I've never heard a good argument disputing that. I've never heard a good argument disputing that. I would happily debate. Obviously, he never will. But I'd talk to Chibi. I'd talk to any of his defenders. I'd talk to Rev Says Desu, any of his fans. I would happily debate this subject. Lolicon material, the people that are aroused by it are pedophiles. It's that simple. Chibi adjacent mustache. Okay, I'm shaving. I'm shaving. Now I'm shaving. $5 from Kalora Vetla with our first tip of the stream. Thank you so much. I thought Lost Pause was irrelevant in 2019. Who? It's not the Chibi stat. What the fuck? Why does this guy getting credit for the last guy that got credit for a mustache only got credit for it because he was one of the most infamous people in all of history. Okay? Why is he getting credit for a very common manifestation of facial hair? It just seems like the mustache amongst younger people, like young adults, and you're like 20s, it just seems like that made a comeback. I never tried it out. Well, I have tried it out before, actually. I wasn't super against how it looked when I tried it out in 2023. But, I turned 21. I'm older now. Change it up a little bit. Don't always look like a little kid. So, that's what I'm doing. $1 from Patrick. Thank you so much. A pile of poop with a face. Great stuff, man. Thank you so much. The good old Chaplin? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's who I was referring to when we're talking about people named after... Well, who's named after a mustache? It seems like Germans are the people that get named after mustaches a lot, because you have the Kaiser stash, the Hitler stash, which was the Chaplin stash. With the amount of pedos Nux likes to hang with, makes it hard to believe you should watch. You're very behind, sir. You should watch Nick Andros. You're like, so behind. It's unreal. But yeah, so that's that, okay? By the way, clip, people. Clip like fuck. Clip like fuck. If you end up making... yeah, dude, you're gonna make tons of money off it. But if you actually... For real, if you make any money, use my clips. You don't have to do it. Take your money. It's all yours. You're marketing for me. So if anyone's looking for to try, go do it. Go do it. There's tons of shit you could clip and pose. All right. Anyways. So there have been some developments since Chibireviews released a video. What is, in my opinion, I was just referring to it earlier, a video that utilizes entirely bad faith arguments to argue against the insinuation perpetuated by Roblox pedo catcher Schlepp that Lolicon is pedophilic. In this video, Chibireviews attacks a straw man, claims that lolicons aren't real kids. Lolicons, as if anyone in the conversation claimed that. They didn't, so I don't know where the fuck he got that. Well, I do know where he got that. They have pre-recorded arguments. They have pre-recorded arguments that have been used for years, and their code doesn't allow them, they can't actually adapt to an argument, to good faith, to good arguments, arguing that lolicon is pedophilic, that aren't like the typical shit they've seen on Twitter. So they don't know how to respond. So their automated response just pretends like it's one of the encoded arguments. But Chibi, I guess, is now beefing. I think we took a look at this the other day, but I totally forgot, so we're going to do it again. Chibi, I guess, is now beefing with Diesel Patches. Diesel is he was a friend of mine. I mean, I'm still on good terms with the guy. I haven't spoken to him in a very long time. I don't know, that's not true. I spoke to him with Dumpy like a few months ago, but that was like for the first time in years, and I haven't spoken to him really since. But him and Chibi, I guess, are now beefing with one another. And we'll take a look at those. Getting rich off of 928. Okay, so believe it or not, how do we explain this? So the more people start to clip me, the more people come to my channel. The more people come to my channel means the more people who possibly like it and stay. The more people who possibly like it and stay equals, a bigger audience, right? And the bigger my audience gets, there's going to be more people interested in clips about me, which will give it a core sort of viewership, right? But then, as I talk about prominent dramas, etc., that core viewership will already help it in the algorithm. We'll start off with a base of a few people who retweet it, and then as I talk about prominent drama, you have more and more chances for clips to go do like more than 928 likes. Really, it just depends. You have to know what you're doing, but there's absolutely potential there for yourself and me. Anyways, what I was saying was, Chibi is now apparently beefing with Diesel. Why? I think it's because Diesel made a video on him. We'll take a look at that, and then we'll take a look at Chibi's response. And then we'll, I guess take it as it goes. So let's take a look at those. Go debate someone, not Rose Malay, and I'll clip. No, you won't. Also, I would happily debate someone. The problem is nobody ever people don't want to debate me. I don't know why. It is like actually the most infuriating thing on earth. How scared people are of calling in. But anyways, so Chibireviews. Hold on, or we'll start with Diesel's video and then we'll look at his response. We're gonna try to be unbiased here. You know what my position is, but what I'm gonna judge between these two who have opposing views is how well each articulate or is able to argue for their position. So I'm gonna try to be unbiased. So Diesel has this video called Lolicon is Good Actually. So I'm assuming it's about the video that we watched yesterday. I attacked that video on for the reasons that I gave you at the time.
Oh, there's this popular
hold on.
YouTuber named Chibireviews who is known for
one sec. Shave that pube stash. Yeah, I will never take the word of a single chatter for appearance advice, because when I got a haircut, I had half the chat telling me it looked really good, and then the other half telling me it was shit. So it seems like it's very volatile.
Being the #1 defender of anime when fighting against censorship, and he has gotten himself into an epic Twitter debate against another YouTuber named Schlepp, who's known for catching predators through sting operations. The epic battle between these two started because Schlepp made a post on Twitter saying, "I stand with
Already saw, yeah.
Gideon when saying through the sect carrying his thin artwork." Let me just start by saying, if you're expecting a video of Chibi talking about how much he loves winking it to little cartoon girls, you won't find it in this video, as smelly as it is to make a lolicon defense.
Oh, hell yeah. RuneScape guy? Is Diesel a RuneScape guy? I like Diesel. Diesel was, when I was making reaction commentary, we were making content in the same genre. I think we collabed once. And I'm just completely forgetting about. He has a video on. He's a a meme about me on his channel with like 400,000 views.
Video, most of Chibi's arguments are centered around protecting free speech. However, there is a difference when it comes to making an obvious distinction between CSAM and lolicon, and then there's outright defending cartoon children being drawn for sexual gratification, along with sharing your obsession with sexualized.
Yes, okay, good, I agree. The two things are very clearly not the same. Anyone who tells you it's just as bad as CSAM is obviously not a serious person. With that being said, it doesn't have to be the worst manifestation of pedophilia for it to still be pedophilia, right?
Cartoon children for you and your other creep friends to admire, which
Thank you, Blurg.
is exactly what this dumpster fire of a video is. And just because CSAM is worse doesn't mean it's morally correct to defend fictional children being sexualized. Anyways, let's start.
I'm gonna catch a lot of heat for this video and probably receive hundreds of thousands of death threats for even making a video discussing lollies and even trying to defend lollies, but we're gonna get right into it because I've already faced death threats, I've already faced slander, false accusations, people doxing me, sending me
Dude, okay, it's just him reacting to it. It's just him reacting to it. I'm curious to see what his arguments are.
that are actually getting harmed.
This might be the only semi-decent point Chibi makes if we assume that's Schlepp's position, but trust me, it's all downhill from here.
Okay, so he attacks the straw. It seems like he's just remaking the points I made. Okay, let's look at... Seems like Diesel is just making the points that I made, unless I'm missing something. And then I guess, so Chibi takes issue with this. I want to see Chibi's response to the counter argument, because his video was just like, the arguments are so fucking easy to refute. I don't know. The only way to get out of it would be to make it so that you're never actually having to respond to a counter argument, which is what he was doing. He wasn't gonna debate Schlepp or anything when pushed on it. So I'm curious to hear like what. All right, we already have that. What is this? All right.
So Diesel just uploaded a video an hour ago talking about my situation and more or less slandering me and calling me a PDF for defending lolly content within my video. But what I find very interesting about this video is that 1 year ago, he made this post on his YouTube community.
Yeah, we saw it yesterday. Okay, so Nick Andros confirmed that this post was real. Nick Andros confirmed that this post was real. It seems like the title is meant to be like ironic, like, you know, Diddy type creep shit. Like, that's the joke. This is obviously a fucking joke. So I don't know. Are we gonna have to pretend like people who make these jokes are actually pedophiles? Are we gonna have to fucking sit here and... Aiden, why do you only get 60? Why do I only get 60? Well, what's 60? Really? You say only 60. What is 60? I use this example all the time. I might be getting my numbers off, but the yacht crew in Mexico City that took their Floridian purchased yacht to Cuba to start the revolution, the Castro brothers and Guevara, there were like 80 people on that yacht. Batista had been tipped off, big fight at the beach, only 25 were able to make it into the woods and start the revolution. So 25 people were able to overthrow an entire country. So 60 people, although it might not seem like a lot, it is a lot.
My cousin hacked my account and publicized a video that was meant to be private. What a weirdo, am I right? And this comment was made after he posted this video, and people were starting to say it was a little bit weird, and so he quickly privated and apparently deleted this video. So I find it very interesting that someone that is calling me a PDF for lolly stuff is turning around and making posts about it a year ago, and even making light and joking.
So, okay, so Chibi made actual arguments to defend lolicon. This dude is making an obvious joke. You'd have to be autistic not to read it as a joke. So instead of actually responding to any counter argument on substance, like the fact that Chibi argued for a blatant straw man, instead of any of that, we're just gonna go do a whataboutism, pretending like a joke is serious. That's about the fucking best I could expect from this like useless moron. Aren't you Ethan, if I recall? Yeah, I'm Ethan. I remember you from lyrics streams. We talked about E-Punk. I was joking about the 12-year-olds as a prank, bro. Yes, believe it or not, pedophilia is a common target for edgy jokes. Because what are edgy jokes? They're meant to be shocking. So obviously, one of the most socially repulsive, unacceptable things possible would naturally be a target for edgy humor, obviously. Because the fact that we would find it humorous would be rooted in how unacceptable the thing being made fun of is. So, yeah, no shit. A lot of people are going to joke about this, and statistically speaking, the vast majority of them are not going to be pedophiles. Okay. So Diesel, I guess, responds to this, and for what it got, my understanding is this got taken down by YouTube for some reason. So let's take a look. 10 minutes. Okay, so this is Diesel's response to Chibi. I don't know how Diesel can really respond, because there's like literally nothing there besides, in bad faith, pretending like an obvious joke is some serious pedophilic thing.
So, a few days ago, I made a video
Also, his joke was calling a One Piece. Oh, let's take a look.
criticizing a YouTuber named Chibireviews, who declared to everyone that he would make a lolicon defense video. If you want the context for this epic YouTube drama, then I suggest you go watch my previous video. Anyways, Chibi noticed my upload, criticizing him, and decided to
You should do more. What is it? I honestly don't understand. You guys are gonna hate me for this because a lot of you are ex. Why is it that people who are no longer fans of Liam's fan base, it's not like it's either you're a fan of his, or when you stop being a fan, you just become a fucking like, you just become like the ultimate hater. It's so volatile because like every ex-fan of his despises this guy. I have had viewers are temporary. Over the years, I've had so many people that have been watching me that stopped. To this day, I do. The people you see in chat now were not necessarily the same you saw a year ago, right? But I don't have like these like ex-audience members that are just like where I'm like the core of their hatred. I'm not saying it's undeserved. I just have noticed it. I'm trying to figure out what the fuck this guy, is doing. Yo, thank you so much for the one. Holden Catfield, a purple cat. Thank you so much. Much appreciated. Thank you, tippers. Super cool. As an anime fan, lolicons are the most victim complexy bitches. They want the free speech to talk about. Also, it's not just that they like want to do this in private. Because if they wanted to do this in private, you wouldn't know they were lolicon. It's that they need to create communities surrounding this. They need to normalize it. They need to share it, cricket, and if anything, the most harmful manifestations of this material is when you're building communities around it, and when you're publicly, when you get to the point where you're publicly okay with announcing that you are this thing, because that's what then normalizes amongst the outside audience, like influential members of the outside audience, like kids, that the notion of adults being into and talking sexually about kids or people depicted as having prepubescent traits, etc. This is just like a thing that happens. It's just like a normal thing. It's like it's accepted. This is how it is. So in a scenario where an adult might be saying similar things to them, the red flags are not necessarily going to be there. Because they've just been exposed to, oh, this is like a normal thing you could just openly talk about. Nothing wrong is necessarily happening here. So the greatest argument I've heard about the harms of lolicon is that and this was given to me by Queeman, who I've had arguments about lolicon with. The best argument against that I've heard is that it creates more groomable kids. That's literally, like, it creates more groomable kids by its nature, and building community around it and normalizing it.
on to defend his honor. Instead of producing the typical type of response video you'd expect, where he goes through my points and gives a counter-argument from his perspective, Chibi uploaded a 1-minute clip where he supposedly exposed me for liking Lolly.
So Diesel just uploaded a video an hour ago talking about my situation and more or less
Yeah, I don't hate Liam. I don't. We were good friends at one point. We were basically co-workers at one point, because when Augie left and there was the power vacuum in this community, Nick wasn't streaming. You didn't have Dickers, you didn't have Queeman. Queeman was around, but in another community, so there was sometimes overlap, but you didn't have Dickers, or there was like kind of a power vacuum left in the streaming, and it was mostly just me and him that were doing like commentary streams at that point in time. And we both started doing better and better and better, and then I left, and then Mama Max happens. He starts getting way more viewership, and then I come back like a year later. But we were good friends. And then when I come back a year later, we're still friends, right? And shit. But he just like, I thought that all these changes were like you know, there's the private you and there's the public you and there's the persona. And I thought his commentary persona was always fake. I knew he wasn't some like, I've spoken to the guy privately. I knew he wasn't some like big edgelord or whatever. He was like moderately edgy. He's moderately. He's not the guy that was getting in Discord calls just saying the N-word and shit. But he was he was moderately edgy. He'd laugh at edgy jokes, etc. So what people who like to pretend like he was like Hitler himself or like over exaggerating. But and he did play up how edgy he was for the sake of appeasement of his given audience. But when he started, that switch up started happening privately, and he started morally lecturing me because I said what he typed was gay. I knew at this point this guy is like the biggest stick up his ass. I don't like having to walk on eggshells around someone or filter what I say, so I'm probably not gonna be friends with him anymore, and I'm not. As a result of that. Right? But it's the same thing with why I'm not friends with Diorio. To be friends with Diorio will require me to have to, it will require me to have to not be friends or associates with certain other people, and it will require me to have to moderate what I say about Diorio himself, and that's just not something I'm willing to do. So, you know, it's not that I hate Diorio, it's not that I hate Liam or anything, but I won't be friends with them as a result of this. My criticisms of their coverage are something different entirely, but where is the sweeping? Where is the sweeping exactly? Why are there brooms? I'm not there. What have I just said that's sweepy to you? Okay.
Entering me and calling me a PDF for defending lolly content within my video. But what I find very interesting about this video is that 1 year ago, he made this post on his YouTube community post tab, more or less joking about lollies within One Piece and anime, and he says with his own words, "Guys, my cousin hacked my account and publicized a video that was meant to be private. What a weirdo, am I right?" And this comment was made after he posted this video.
That's clearly serious. Definitely totally happened. This is him recounting a real story and not making a joke. How am I sweeping? Says guys. I'm sweeping so fucking hard you can't even explain how I'm sweeping. This is really great criticism that I can work with. You're sweeping because you're sweeping. The craziest thing is that Ali Khan stayed watching and modding for Liam Donovan for months after his transition to content targeting 15-year-old girls. Dude, it has been a first we found out that Ali Khan was modding for Spinal. Now we're finding out this. It has been a interesting last month or two for the Ali Khan Nation.
Video, and people were starting to say it was a little bit weird, and so he quickly privated and apparently deleted this video. So I find it very interesting that someone that is calling me a PDF for lolly stuff is turning around and making posts about it a year ago and even making light and joking about it. So, yeah, what's up with that?
So Diesel
I'm beginning to suspect that Ali Khan's name might not actually be Ali Khan. And he's trying to tell us something with his name. Because if you notice, I'm starting to suspect that it's a play on the term Lolly Khan. Okay, this is crazy. I know. Crazy theories about. And if so, I'm wondering, what community did this guy come from exactly? What community did he come from?
channel with 1 million subscribers basically called.
Yo, Styro! Congrats on the 10K, bro. I was seeing that shit. Big deal. Is that even real, or is it like a dumpy meme? Anyway, I thought I saw you do 10K subs. So I don't know if that's your first 10K ever, but your first 10K is a great feeling. So congrats, bro.
Me a PDF in his latest video for defending lollies. About a year ago, in his community posts, he was making lolly jokes and privated a video being positive about lollies. As you can see, that's kind of weird, right? I feel it's appropriate to use this as a response in my video to someone calling me a PDF over lolly content and then getting caught liking lolly content a year ago. Weird how that
getting caught liking lolly content a year ago. So in in Chibi's own video, he seems to hint that he knows that the Diesel video is a joke. I've explained benign violation theory to you guys before as well. When I heard it, the reason I say this so much is this is one of the most interesting theories of comedy I ever heard. We perceive things as funny when they violate boundaries or expectations of the way things ought to be in a manner that we then perceive as safe. So boundary violations perceived as safe will evoke a comedical response. That's also why comedy is subjective, because our own boundaries for acceptability vary amongst person to person. But for everyone, a violation of boundaries is pedophilia, for almost everyone. So when someone jokes about this and then you understand they're joking about it and it's not real or whatever, you would then perceive it as safe and therefore find it funny. So for people who say, how can you joke about something like that? Well, actually, the more offensive it is to you, I'd say the probability of someone joking about it would therefore be higher under benign violation theory.
That happens. Obviously, the framing he's going for here is, isn't it funny how anti-lolly people actually love lollies themselves? The content Chibi is referring to and the evidence that I quote-unquote love lolly is a video I uploaded nearly 2 years ago where
An obvious joke.
I used a clip from an episode of One Piece of a lolly character in distress while cutting to infamous online predators going ballistic and making monkey noises.
It's a joke about how other people are pedophiles. And then the community post is a joke saying, guys, so like it's supposed to be like a suspicious video that then you click on and realize it's a meme and laugh. It's an obvious joke. And it really attests to Chibi's argumentation ability when he gets a bigger YouTuber pointing out the obvious and fucking ridiculous straw man he was attacking instead of making a competent or coherent argument to defend his unwinnable position. He has to, instead of responding to that, he has to go back 2 years to, in bad faith, interpret what is an obvious joke as some sort of serious preference to do a whataboutism, as if that at all responds to the actual counter argument to his argument. Which it doesn't, because Chibi's a fucking retard.
Now, I'd play the full clip in its entirety, but it would seem I have to be careful what I show and say now because, coincidentally, ever since Chibi alluded to me liking little anime girls, I've since had 2 random videos of mine get mass flagged and removed from YouTube.
You know exactly who's flagging all this shit. This is what you have to worry about, okay? Not only, there are people that build communities around positions all the time that they debate for, argue for, etc. The lolicons, their survival is tied to social acceptance in their mind. So they, for years, will argue to the ends of the earth to get people to accept their existence and what they're into. They've constructed arguments that they all use. It's a community. But they're also, because of the stakes for them, it's one of the most mobilized communities. So when you are going against this community and their disgusting perversions, they mobilize like no other community I've ever seen. When I was arguing with the Rev fans, and I've argued with many communities who have varying positions, sometimes even harder than I had with the lolicons, my shit got flagged as well. My ex got flagged. I had to wipe my account. They flag shit. They have group chats where they organize. They mobilize like no other community. And I would not, typically, I think it's like a bad argument where people like to always assume anytime they get flagged or report, it has to be because of whoever they're talking about in that moment. But my own experience with this community would tell me that it is almost certainly lolicons that are going through and flagging his shit. The timing is super, sure, maybe just the biggest coincidence ever, but I think not, because this is what they do and what they have a reputation for doing.
YouTube for child safety, one video about Pokimane, and another video where I criticize EDP. I don't know for sure who flagged these videos, or if it has something to do with Chibi, but regardless, I'm not going to take that risk. If you want to watch the full video, I'll link it down below, but if you couldn't tell based on the short clip I already played, the joke here is that Minilad, EDP, and Dr. Disrespect, who are all known for one thing, would go crazy if they saw that specific One Piece character. The intent in that video is to
Mocking pedophiles.
make fun of these 3 predators. Now, it is true, I did end up
And then he's pedo bait wouldn't be the right word. He's using to get you to click on the meme. He's doing he's pretending like he's been doing something suspicious. That's the joke. You click on, it's like I just don't understand. He shouldn't have to explain this. The video should literally just be him explaining what happened. Fucking Chibi made this argument. I made this argument in response, and this is his argument. And then he shows the new and he says, I shouldn't have to respond to that. And then ends the video. Because he shouldn't have to. This is such an obvious fucking joke that is being, in bad faith, used as a whataboutism. Because the only thing that lolicons love more than children is logical fallacies and bad faith arguments. They will use straw mans. They will use whataboutisms. They will. They are obsessed with it.
deleting this video only 15 minutes after I uploaded it because while my intent was to make fun of people like EDP, Minilad, and Dr. Disrespect, a handful of individuals left comments such as, "What is this? This is off-putting. This isn't funny. Cringe plus L plus ratioed." And after
Oh my god, you cannot joke about that. Dude, it's like, I just, people are like so stupid when it comes to humor. There's shit that I don't find funny. There's a lot of shit I don't find funny. A lot of edgy jokes I don't find funny. But I don't go and like police other people. Like it's wrong to mock something by virtue of the fact that it's offensive. People who do that literally just don't understand how comedy works. I have no interest in doing so. Their only interest is enforcing what is socially acceptable or not. Now, I also, once again, I admit people who use the guise of edgy humor as an excuse to share their genuine beliefs and disguise it. And in those instances, right, I think you're a pussy. But other than that, like, yeah, it's offensive, and he's mocking it. That's kind of the point.
seeing that the joke didn't land, I decided to remove it after 15 minutes of it being live because, yeah, it is kind of a tasteless video. Having EDP throw it back to a lolly sounds funny on paper.
A commentary YouTuber making edgy jokes. Dude. I honestly, me and my trans wife and her boyfriend were just shocked when we saw a commentary YouTuber make an edgy joke. I just wasn't expecting it. I thought that this was wholesome, family-friendly content made for infants. And I honestly, appalled.
But when you actually make the video and hear all the weird noises from the character, then it does come off as off-putting. After I delayed the video, I made a community post jokingly saying that my little cousin hacked my YouTube account and uploaded a video without permission. And as we know, after I called out Chibi, he quickly looked for any sort of dirt he could find on me and found this one community post to prove I'm actually
nice. Dude, you're such a cunt. Nice Cesar Chavez mustache. Yeah, dude. Yeah, that's what he doesn't even have this is such, that's bad faith. He doesn't even fucking have a mustache. And like the prominent, wait, did you mean Cesar Romero? Did you mean that guy? He's known for having a mustache. Cesar Chavez is the father of the Chicano movement that we have a national holiday, or we have a holiday in California to celebrate that just got outed as a child rapist like a week or two ago. Did I hear what of course I fucking heard what he did. Now, it doesn't make the movement any less valid, of course, but I did hear what he did.
a big lolly lover just like him and ran to the Twitter hills with it. And what's funny is that one of the top comments on this community post actually predicted this would happen, waiting for Twitter to take this seriously and try to cancel bro. Nice foresight. I will say, it is fair to claim it's somewhat hypocritical.
Wasn't Cesar Chavez anti-illegal immigration? It seems like a lot of people who are anti-illegal immigration, it just seems like a lot of people that hold that view there's a certain, Dan, I love it. So the right is like demonizing, or is going after this guy specifically because he's like a leader of like what's perceived as like a woke left-wing movement. But Cesar Chavez was strongly anti-illegal immigration. So let's just focus, when we're remembering his legacy, let's just focus on that aspect specifically. Seems like a lot of people, a lot of like-minded people with that viewpoint seem to have a certain, I don't know, certain orientation.
Me to critique Chibi for not caring what he posts online involving this type of material while I post something like this. However, for Chibi to claim this is evidence that I'm into lolly and I love lollies is nothing but disingenuous framing.
Yeah, no shit.
To me, it seems like he's only saying this to push this false narrative that I'm projecting. He wants to show his fans that anti-lollies are actually just closeted lollies, and their criticism of lolicon is performative. And because I apparently love lollies just as much as Chibi, my video is now completely debunked. This was just a dumb, tasteless video with a joke that didn't land, and that's why it was immediately deleted. It was not a proclamation for my love for lollies, something Chibi would like for you to believe. Anyways, Chibi also claimed that I accused him of being a pedophile.
So Diesel just uploaded a video an hour ago talking about my situation and more or less slandering me and calling me a
I'd love to find a single person that has publicly taken on the anti-lolicon position that the lolicons have not called a pedophile. Because that's their go-to. It's to pedo jacket you. That's their go-to. They're so ashamed of what they are that when you point out what they are, they will attempt to project and bring you under that label so they feel less bad about what disgusting freaks they are. It's literally their go-to.
PDF.
Which is just straight up false. The closest statement of me calling Chibi a pedophile is when I question people in general who like lolicon what attracts them to childlike features. Nowhere in my video did I label Chibi a pedo, yet this is his main complaint about my video. The fact that Chibi centered his response over something I never said tells me he didn't actually watch my video.
Of course he didn't. He doesn't need to, because he doesn't care about having a good fucking argument.
And just assumed I was echoing common anti-lolicon talking points. And the more I read Chibi's posts, the more convinced I became that instead of actually watching my video and analyzing my points, Chibi saw a larger creator making fun of him and immediately researched any sort of dirt he could come up.
That's what they do. That's all they do. Because they can't defend their disgusting interests on substance. So they have, of course they do. If they're going to try to argue against it, they're going to have to go and, like, find shit on you, because what other option are they gonna take?
With that's associated with me. For example, Nicholas Light, a popular anime YouTuber and friend of Chibi, commented this in reference to my video. Imagine telling a kid that sexualizing drawings is similar to their situation.
Nobody is telling them that. Who's telling them that? It's another, like, completely made-up situation. Chibi's like, can you imagine if somebody was to call 911 and call the police department and report a lolicon image they saw as if it were a real kid being abused? The police would send people out there and their resources would be wasted. Well, it's like, yeah, that's why you don't lie about what's happening when you call the police. Do you have an example of this happening? Do you have an example of anyone actually ever doing this? No, he doesn't, right? Just like this guy doesn't have an example of somebody saying, nobody's going to a kid that was, you know, and saying that drawings is similar to what happened to them. Nobody's saying that. Believe it or not, there can be a spectrum. There could be a spectrum, okay? Getting your ass groped is not the same as having someone break into your house and rape you, okay? Both are still sexual assault. Both are still sexual assault. It's just one is far more, one is far worse than the other.
These people pretend like they care about child endangerment. They only care if it gets them views and acceptance amongst the bottom of humanity, saying win gang. Chibi then responded to this, I'm fine with someone thinking I'm a fucking weirdo. Fair. But when you start watering down terms to this degree, you are only helping actual pedos. So
no examples of any actual pedos being helped.
Chibi and Nicholas are both under the impression that my position is that child victims of abusive material, otherwise known as CSAM, and lolicon are on equal footing and should be treated as the same.
Nobody's saying that. Diesel literally says in his video, CSAM is not the same thing as lolicon. We don't need to pretend it is to argue that this thing is pedophilic.
However,
have you been molested, Aiden? No. I don't. Why would anyone ever answer a question like that? No, why would anyone ever answer a question like that?
If these two actually watched my video instead of fabricating my positions, they would know I actually believe the opposite.
I just did answer a question like that, so I completely self-owned.
It. If Schlepp's position is that CSAM and Lolicon are comparable, then that is an incredibly stupid position to have, considering only one actually inflicts harm on children. There is a difference when it comes to making an obvious distinction between CSAM and Lolicon, and then there's outright defending cartoon children being drawn for sexual gratification, along with sharing your obsession with sexualized cartoon children for you and your other creep friends to admire. Just because CSAM is worse doesn't mean it's morally correct to defend fictional children being sexualized.
The fact that he removed that wording of anime from it, it makes people tune in more to what he's saying.
This argument also sucked. He said the term anime was removed from Schlepp's tweet to, like, mislead you or whatever, except, like, when Schlepp is, like, referring to the thing that he's discussing, he says lolicon, and by definition, it's drawn material. So it's not, it's just redundant. It's just redundant to add that specification.
Believe what he's saying is that.
But I reckon the reason he removed it is because a lot of the predators he caught had not other non-lolly forms of child erotica, right? There's various forms of it, right? So maybe that's why he removed the specification in the second sentence. But that's not, that the misleading part wouldn't work when he's very clear about what it is that he's talking about.
She's talking about real victims and real people that are.
You know what this call? What time is it? It's 9:20. It's been a long day. Cheers, fellas. Cheers.
Actually getting harmed.
This might be the only semi-decent point Chibi makes if we assume that's Schlepp's position. Now, as I said, CSAM is objectively worse than Lolicon because actual children are harmed by CSAM. If you claim both are on the same level, then you are being completely disingenuous.
But there's not a wide pool that actually is, meaning these people have to fight ghosts to avoid fighting the actual counter-arguments.
Believing CSAM is way worse than Lolicon and believing that people who are attracted to Lolicon are
End of the day, beer just said yes. I didn't drink. I didn't really drink before I was 21, but and I didn't like beer very much. But I have been having like 2 or 3 beers a week at the end of the day, and it's just been, especially when you cook. When I'm cooking, it's just very nice. Nice.
Fucked up in the head is not mutually exclusive. I really don't know why Chibi thought making a Lolicon
Dog, what is on your... You have some stuff to answer for, buddy. You got called out by a chatter. We're hearing strange report. First of all, we're noticing something. Ali Khan might not be your real name, and it might be a play on Lolicon, but that's besides the point. Somebody pointed out that they're an old Liam Donovan fan, and apparently you were modding for Loam for a long time after he made his transition. We're hearing disturbing, disgusting things. So what's the deal with that, buddy? Response? I was a mod for like 3 days. Then I said something racist. Oh.
Defense video was at all necessary? Like, sure,
what could you have possibly said? You don't say things that are racist.
Debunking Schlepp for possibly conflating CSAM and Lolicon makes sense, but if Chibi's video just focused on that talking point, then I wouldn't be making my video.
Yo! Thank you so much to the person that tipped, whose name is Navakva. Thank you so much for the 3. At this point, I call Lolicons digital pedophile. They are pedophile. We need to make a distinction. And the reason we need to make this distinction is because for any useful dialogue about this, when people say pedophile, you're using it synonymously with people that have touched children. People that have touched children are pedophiles, but they've taken it a step further and they're child abusers, right? They've actually acted on these urges they have. When we use the term pedophile, we should just be referring to the people with these urges, regardless of whether or not they have gone and acted upon it. So, you don't need to call them digital pedophiles. They are pedophiles. The thing that evokes arousal from them is the depiction of prepubescent traits. That is what they fantasize about. That is what evokes arousal. That would therefore make them pedophiles. Calling them pedophiles does not mean you're saying they've actually gone out and harmed a kid, right? What it means Is that prepubescence is what evokes sexual stimulation, making them pedophiles. But thank you so. Well, hold on. I'll finish reading. Lesser odds they'd ever touch a real kid, but would go primal on the ones they goon over. Fucking freaks, the lot of them. True.
That distinction is worth bringing up. The fact I repeatedly stated.
The truth of the matter is, there are a lot more pedophiles out there than we know about because of the rightful stigma surrounding the term. Most of the time, the only way we know if someone's a pedophile or not is after they've been caught. I would love to see a world where these people go to therapy before they actually go and do it. Because I don't believe that merely thinking about doing something is a crime, a crime per se, but it is the actually going and doing it part that we're trying to prevent here. I would like for this problem to be addressed before they go and do that in a manner where they don't, because Augie was of the position. Augie was unironically arguing to me once that anybody who is a pedophile, like, has that attraction, should be murdered, should be killed, right? That's unironically he was arguing for that. And I'm saying that's fucking retarded, because I want to see a world where no kids are molested. I don't know about you guys, but I'd love to see that world. And I would hate for the only way for us to know that someone is a pedophile is after a kid's been touched. I'd love for them to be able to go and get that help before that happens, right? And if you're creating an expectation that if they go and admit to having that, they're going to be killed, then nobody's ever going to admit they have that except for the ones that can't control the urge and act on it. And then we only find out because a kid's been touched. So to argue for that position, you literally would argue you just are okay with more kids being touched, which you shouldn't be okay with. When people say things like destigmatize it or whatever, like these like leftist like shock articles that the right will then go and throw over and be like, the left wants to make this normal. That is not what is being talked about here. This is a psychological disorder that results in a horrific crime, and the people who do the horrific crime should be treated as horrific criminals. But the people that have the disorder and haven't done anything yet should be treated with the best treatments we have available to us, and there should be further research how we can hopefully one day maybe cure them. I don't know. That doesn't seem feasible right now, but that's the hope. Would you agree with pedos to have like probation, like monitoring? Yeah, obviously. Yeah. I think if you've ever acted on the urge, you should never be around children for the rest of your life in any context. At all. But the people who admit to having the urge we should also incentivize that they're kept away from kids. But if we were to do so by the thing is, if they're going and getting treatment for it, they recognize it's bad and there's a willingness to not go and do it. And if they haven't done it yet, and like, let's say they're older adults, then they are able to somewhat control the urge. And if that's the case, we shouldn't penalize them for it, but we should, whoever they're working with, mental health wise, should, just to avoid any risks, make sure this person is not being put in positions where they're around kids. Do we need to hold their hand through it? Not necessarily for everyone. Not for everyone. Because if they've never committed a crime and they don't plan to, and they've had it under control for, let's say they're 60 years old and never actually gone and done something or downloaded this material or whatever, and they're disgusted by what they are. In that instance, right, do we need to hold their hand through it? I don't know. But there should be that expectation set by whoever it is they're working with, that they're not being put in any position where they're near that. And then for people who have actually have a history of engaging with like this material, pedophilic material, then you could talk about like internet monitoring or potential revocation of internet access, period.
That real CSAM is worse than Lolicon, and the two are not comparable because
it's a difficult conversation. You can't, there's no new, this is a subject that evokes strong emotions for good, obviously so, but because of that, you can never have any conversation where you look into some of the nuances of it, and a lot of people who are willing to look into the nuances of it are just pedophiles defending their urges. You shouldn't be proud of these urges, right? Obviously, there is room for nuanced discussion in regards to the fact that yes, there are people that have these urges that you know, can't do anything about it, but don't then go and act on it. What is to be done with people like that? And that's where we should have discussions. We should have dialogues, because what we want is a world where no kids are being hurt.
Sam actually harms real victims, tells me these two didn't even skim through my video. Chibi also seems to believe that my intent with criticizing Lolicon is to apparently protect actual pedophiles, which isn't a belief that's just directed towards me, but anyone who also dares to criticize Lolicon. So what this situation tells me about Chibi is that whenever he's criticized, instead of committing to good faith research, he will choose to slander you, straight up lie what your actual positions are,
Yeah, no, they all do this.
in order to villainize you to his fan base, insinuate you protect pedophiles, and of course just rely on digging up past controversies or possible dirt to defend himself. I don't expect Chibi to watch every video that criticizes him, but if he wants to counter my points, then he needs to research and understand what my actual—
No, you don't. No, you don't. If you're going with the position of defending this thing, you actually don't need to do any research, because it doesn't require a good argument, because there's no good argument to be made.
points are. This isn't a case of accidentally getting your facts wrong. This is just straight up malicious behavior. Now, despite what Chibi thinks, no, I'm not going to delete my community post. I'm also not going to delete my video on him. Lolicon is a divisive subject, but I wanted to share my thoughts, and I don't plan to backtrack anything I said. I knew the comment section would be a cesspool, and I had a few—
Yeah, this was a fine response. He proved it was an obvious joke, explains why it was taken down, explains why this is not a good argument to use this against him in the court. This is fine. This is a fine response. I think everything was addressed. This is good. Will Chibi respond after this? Probably not. Probably not, right? Because his goal is to rely on whataboutisms, avoid actually having to get to a point where you're arguing on substance. So he'll probably just disengage after this point, I'd imagine. What is this? Hassan, Summer Lee, and Abdul El Said spotted not wearing seatbelts. Is this, dude, are we serious? Are we serious right now? Dude, this is actually so funny.
They do that. I watch them do this every single day.
Dude. No way. Hassan? No, I like when people turn into the most bitch-made, like, fucking nerd hall monitors ever whenever it comes to Hassan. Whenever it comes to Hassan. You just start talking like a fucking nerd. Like a hall monitor. He's not wearing a seatbelt. Wow. No, I think it's a smart idea to wear a seatbelt for your own personal safety. But if you don't want to be safe, I think that's your right to... If you want to do something that jeopardizes your personal safety and your personal safety alone... I think you're within every right to go and do that, right? We allow people to smoke if they'd like. We allow people to, if it's just gonna jeopardize you, there's no issue with that on my end, right? Now it's an easy thing. Wearing a seatbelt is such a fucking easy thing to do, and if you haven't already, you'll find out. What happens when a fast-moving vehicle that you're inside of and moving at the same speed at comes to a sudden stop while you're moving at the same speed. You will learn what happens, and it's not good. Wear a fucking seatbelt. It's not hard, but it's not like you're doing something wrong by jeopardizing your own safety. Retards making Hassan seem cool. Why is it cool to not wear a seatbelt? It's just like there's no downside. So I asked why people drunk drive. Why do they drunk? Well, the answer is kind of obvious. They're drunk. They don't give a shit about anybody else. Drunk driving is different because you jeopardize other people. But they're drunk. They don't give a shit about anybody else, and they don't think they're going to get caught. So they go and drive home drunk. Right? It's convenient. What is the convenience of not wearing a seatbelt? It's not like if you're wearing clothes, it's not like you feel it, so it's super uncomfortable. It's not like, for the most part, unless you have a sudden movement and it locks up, you still have a good range of motion and everything. So I just don't understand what the point would be in not wearing it, other than you're just super lazy or really want to look cool, which it's like, okay, that's sad. Other than that, I just don't know why people wouldn't wear it. Have you been in a car crash, Aiden? I haven't been in a car crash. I've been in a car where the driver hit a pedestrian, but that wasn't really a crash. Like, I wasn't injured, obviously. And I've been in cars that have suddenly had to brake. My head went fucking flying forward. But other than that, I've never been in a car accident. Unlike my mom, who's been in like 5. Not on her. She was, for the most, she somehow has been in like 5, like no fault to her accidents. She's like been hit by like fucking 2 drunk drivers. And then she was in the passenger seat once when she was a kid with a bunch of other girls. And the way she told me the story, I don't remember what they hit. The mom hits, something happened where the car rolled like multiple times and she had to crawl through glass to get out. So she has a scar, but yeah. But I've always been, told to wear a seatbelt and shit. I have firefighters in my family, who have had to go to the aftermath of car accidents. So I had the fear of God beaten into me when I was a kid about drunk driving, not wearing your seatbelt, etc., etc. Because I've had a lot of family members have to deal with the dead of a car accident. Cover Lio Convoy. What is there at the moment to possibly cover about this guy? I've literally covered everything, other than apparently he's beefing with Chibi, which we were gonna cover, but so I'll cover that. But I mean, I just don't know. I can't. There's nothing else. This guy. We could cover, I guess, his beef with Chibi. I mean, I'm not gonna make the mistake of pulling up Chibi's ex again on my stream, so let's just look through this real quick. Any new juicy the Falgi shit seems so boring. It's like we learned this guy's pathetic, Beckett's spineless. I mean, what else is new, right? I'm trying, but how does Lio play into the Chibi shit? I guess we're also gonna finish that Beckett Queeman combo because people were telling me I left too early, or I left it off too early. So we'll take a look at that as well. But really, oh my god, dude, this guy's Twitter is fucking degenerate. This is like just what I wanted to be doing, looking through all this shit. Hold on. We're almost there. Where's the Lio quote tweet? I can't fucking find it. Now, the difference between Lio and Chibi is that Lio has actually hurt kids, and to my knowledge, Chibi hasn't. So, already starting off with a pretty unbalanced, where I can't find it. Is it here? Oh, wait. This guy, dude, he's posted. This guy is such a fucking insufferable loser. Oh my god. Him and Lio are made for each other. I hate both of them. But what the fuck is this, bro? He gets off on being a victim, dude. Look at this. Look at this shit. Fan mail, meaning like, guys, look at the crazy things people are putting in his DMs. Yo, Chibi, imagine getting cheated on by your wife with your best friend of 10 years, and nobody sided with you either. You are a degenerate fucking loser. I hope you know you are genuinely not safe if I ever see you, and I will find you, Chibi. I'll hurt you and everyone you love, too. Somebody said words online. What is this thing, by the way? People like to always pretend, and I've been saying this for forever. People act like death threats mean shit. They don't. They don't. People talk tons of shit behind a screen. People talk tons of shit behind a screen, and it's not hard to tell someone you're going to kill them. It really isn't. Just requires a bit of typing, right? It's not like a very hard process. And people who don't like you, if you're a controversial figure, will write that to you. But that goes as far as like any other insult. So not far at all. Unless this is somebody that through their verbiage is indicating they're actually a schizo that is intent on acting on this, or they have the capability of doing it. But for the most part, it is not. I'm sorry, death threats are not a big deal at all. They're just not a big deal. You have my permission to DM me. You want to kill me? I don't care. I've had it. When I was a kid, I had people DM me like, "I'm gonna find you. I'm gonna strangle you to death." Like, I don't. It's not. It means nothing. You just ignore it. It's that simple. I was able to ignore it when I was a little fucking kid. Dickers said Lio has childhood trauma, which is, we all have childhood trauma. We all have, well, that's not true at all, actually. That's not true at all. But many of us do. Okay, many of us do. That means fucking jack shit. I don't care. I hate when people use that to, like, minimize actions. It's like, it's not. You actually, your life is in your hands, in your control. And although you may have had things happen to you in childhood, which is, you know, not so. The worst part, if you have childhood trauma, is when people tell you to just, like, move on. Don't you want to move on and, like, be productive with your life, as if you have a choice, right? To just, like, forget it or not. But the, you know, no, I'm not expecting anyone to move on, or, but you can consciously choose to not victimize other people or be a shitty person. Regardless of what's on your plate. And if you choose not to, the shit on your plate isn't relevant to me. It's not. Most bad people, most lolcows, you could probably find something in their history that would indicate a horrific childhood. And I had this dilemma with Grace Thorpe, not wanting to give her full blame because the cards were stacked against her from the beginning. But I realized at some point you could feel bad for the kid that got abused, the kid they once were, while holding the adult accountable for the actions that they decide to engage in, which is what I do at least, with Lio. I'm aware that Lio's had trauma. I'm aware that Lio was molested, and when somebody called into my stream to try to use that against him, I shut it down immediately. I argued against this person. This person tried to insinuate that Lio was lying about being molested, and even despite the fact that I hate Lio Convoy, I wasn't gonna, you know, entertain that, and I've been weaponized against him, right? But in the assessment of his actions, it's just not relevant. It's not relevant. If anything, he understands the importance and the severity of harm to children and the you know, the vulnerability of children, and he should not behave and act in as reckless of a manner as he does, understanding, like, the pain and the, you know, someone who has been through it and understands should not be humiliating a kid on stream for being groomed just for the sake of entertainment. Have that kid in the call and then bring their groomer into the call while the minor is still present just to create content. There is no excuse for somebody who knows the pain of being touched as a child, being hurt as a child by an older adult. There's no excuse for you to then go and treat with such recklessness to treat a kid that's in another situation. It's inexcusable. It's fucking dog shit behavior from a dog shit person, regardless if he was touched as a kid or not. Move on? Somebody just brought it up. Wait, somebody just brought it. Oh my god. Oh my god. I love this new meta of Aiden's talking about X again, and then ask Aiden about X just so you could wow, I can't believe we're talking about this again. I can't believe that when somebody asks me a question or asks me to talk about something, I respond. I can't believe it, man. Crazy stuff. Bro, somebody just brought it up. Somebody else just brought it up. I'm responding. What the fuck are you talking about? What is this? I'm gonna go into your chat, I'm gonna ask you about something, and then if you respond and talk about it, I'm gonna be like, wow, I can't believe he's talking about this thing. Yo, thank you so much for the 10 plants. I got engaged. Here's money. Holy shit. Congratulations. Here's money to celebrate me. Yo, that's great. Hopefully, well, it could be great. Hopefully, whoever you're getting engaged to is a good person. Regardless, that's great stuff. That's great stuff. Congratulations. I didn't see a wedding invite, though, so definitely not you holding that against you or anything, but no, I'm kidding. I really want to go to a wedding, though, man. I haven't been to one since I was a kid. They look fun. $10 from Kalora Vetla. This Jimmy guy is actually really good friends with Ali Khan and also engages with lolcows and encourages their behavior. Please stay away from him. I've been told this, but Jimmy will tell you that I distanced myself from him. He's my former top guy, so I'm in the clear for whatever he's going and doing. Bro, are you for... Why'd you... Dude, it doesn't... It just doesn't... It's like a lunatic hospital. That's what it's like, existing in this space. It's like I'm existing in a fucking insane asylum, and I'm just locked in with people who are smearing their shit on the walls. Are you really still talking about the thing you just got asked about? Yes, I am. Deal with it. Yo, thank you so much, Will, with the 10. That Jimmy guy seems pretty chill, and Ali Khan is solid. Should definitely interact with them more. Well, Jimmy pushed me away. I extended my hand of friendship, and Jimmy took out a big fucking knife and stabbed it. In regards to Ali Khan, he has me embargoed. I have no beef with that guy, but he's had us embargoed for a little bit. Why? I'm not sure. Wait, you got scammed? Did I miss your tip? Hold on. Yeah, you got scammed. I didn't just like miss it or anything. It was Oh, wait, I didn't read it. You're right, you got scammed. Thank you for the 5, Patrick! Speaking of driving, you should play Need for Speed Most Wanted. You should become the #1 most wanted on the blacklist for criticizing the government. I'll keep that in mind. That's noted. Is there a Lio segment or no? A segment on what? I have covered everything, and trust me, I stopped covering Lio as soon as there was no more to cover, right? I stopped covering him as soon as there was nothing left to cover. Before I went to England, the coverage was done. I announced it, right? But I said, unless he does something else, I don't need to cover him. You could watch the hours upon hours, right? A-log every single horrible thing this guy has done. You go watch it. There's nothing new, to my knowledge, for me to be discussing here. Babe, calm down. True. You know, we're having a lot of Hoi 4 players, pop. I found out Gunner42 plays Hoi 4. We've got this, like, Romanian guy that just popped up in IC. We've got the most racist person I've ever known, Serbian dude in IC, plays Hoi 4. A lot of loving to see that Hoi 4 play. I was actually on my docket. I was going to cover one of the videos from that Hoi 4 beef that I called boring and gave up on. I'd cover one of the videos, maybe. Anyways, you know what we're going to do? We were watching a conversation between Queeman and Beckett, and I clicked off early and got sidetracked because it seemed boring, but I'm being told it isn't. I'm being told I gave up on it too quick. So we'll take a look at it. No Junk. Junk doesn't make it his personality. Apparently, yeah, Junk plays Hoi 4, but he's not a Hoi 4 player, okay? It's an identity. It's a lifestyle. Junk doesn't live that. Also, isn't that guy like a pedophile? That's what I've been hearing. All right, kick Queema. I heard apparently this guy has like a side channel called Junk Drawer Grooming, where he like advocates for grooming. You guys bitched about Hoi 4 so much, but now you're stuck with Marathon, so enjoy that. Okay, I got DM'd. Hold on. Cal gave me the timestamp the other day, so let's take a look at this. Inbox to the Beckett. Oh, wait, no, never mind. So we got this. The proposed community notes is everything you need to know about the PSYOP you all are pulling. Instead of worrying about catching an actual criminal, you want to turn this into a lolicon debate. The craziest shit, too, is that the character on the dude's shirt isn't a lolly. A lolicon sexually assaulted one kid and sexually communicated with another. I am so surprised. And then, wait, hold on. Let me get my fucking, wire for my mouse. One sec. My mouse is about to die. Lio, I guess, with Lio's history with Lolicon, he has used the idea of Lolicon as an excuse to just, like, show his, like, flagrant racism, which is hilarious, because he has attempted to appeal to, like, while being friends with Gilded Poo, he attempts to appeal to, like, he doesn't say retard. I think he's demeaned other people for saying it. He, like, he talks about, like, speaks out against, like, transphobia and shit, and it's funny, because he's just, like, completely racist. He said someone was making fun of a southern accent once, and he was like, wow. So I think it was Robert. He was like, wow, so you're just mocking me because I'm Mexican? The dude was doing a southern accent, by the way. It was so funny. It was like, it's like, my name is Lau Convoy, and I come from the South. And Lau's like, oh, so you're making fun of me because I'm Mexican? Is that it? You're making fun of me because I'm a Mexican? It's like, wow, dude. Wow, you really tried for that one. He wants to seem racially abused so bad. But regardless, he was saying to Angry Slug, who's back in the news, that Indonesia has a lolicon problem, which he quickly came up with on the spot to go and, like, he's like, yeah, it's really accepted there. He said it's full of pedophiles. He said he was arguing that his argument was that Muslims are pedophiles. Muslim countries are full of pedophiles. And he resorts to Indonesia as his example, saying Indonesia has a really big lolicon problem. Well, I go and I look, and I can't find anything about a particularly bad or notable lolicon problem in Indonesia. In fact, when I read Indonesia's official laws on pornography and obscene material, lolicon, I think, is just outright illegal in Indonesia, which is more than, like, a lot of Western countries have. This is, like, technically legal in a lot of Western countries. So if anything, Indonesia is more anti-lolicon than much of the West. So the only possible conclusion I could have for him to just pull that out of his ass is that he knows Indonesians are Asian, and he knows lolicon's an Asian thing, albeit Japanese. So he just goes and makes that argument just thinking it will work, and he's right. And it's just totally racist. You're just assuming because it's an Asian country, they're into lolicons or whatever. But he tweets this. Chibi says, the proposed community note says everything you need to know about the PSYOP y'all are pulling. Instead of worrying about catching an actual criminal, you want to turn this into a lolicon debate. Okay, us talking about... They act like it is an either-or scenario. If you discuss lolicon, somehow you're taking resources away from catching people who touch kids. That's a non sequitur. They can't explain how. They can't explain how that's happening. But they like to pretend that it is. You know, you don't like when kids get hurt, but you also don't like pedophiles? Well, if you talk about it, if you talk about pedophiles, you're actually taking resources away from helping kids who are being hurt. How? How? Explain it to me. How? They never fucking can. They never can. Lio isn't Hispanic. Didn't you? I hate to, I'm sorry, but, like, when we talk about minority status, if you're, like, white passing Hispanic, I mean, I'm gonna get shit for this, but it's like, you can't. Lio likes to, like, he likes to talk about, like, yeah, those white people, I think he's, like, a member of the super marginalized group, and he'll literally fake oppression when none exists. Like, he'll pretend like someone who's doing a southern accent is mocking him for being... We don't know how Mexican he is either. He could, like, have one grandparent. We have no fucking idea. He could be, like, a northern Mexican who's like family owns a ranch or something. We don't fucking know, right? But if you've seen the guy, he's pretty, like, white passing or whatever. It's not like a fixated on Lio, can't move on. That's what the subject. Am I just like not allowed to talk? Is that it? Should I just put fucking tape on my mouth? Regardless, he can't speak a word of fucking Spanish. Lio cannot speak Spanish. He is a gringo. He is a gringo. He's a gringo LARPing as Mexican. Kind of like me. We're not so different, me and him. I'm kidding. Okay, so then there's a part 2 to this. Community noted the liar. The arrested individual doesn't mention liking Lolicon and actually dislikes it. The character on his shirt, Scion, doesn't have the body type of a lolly. Wow. Wow. Crazy stuff. Anyways, I don't think, no, people are just trying to rage bait me. It's just rage bait. There are no actual, which is why my Lio coverage and hatred is so retarded, because it seems like everybody's on the same page. You know, it was like, the problem wasn't my coverage. The problem was I was investing so much time into covering and reproving that the obviously horrible person was a horrible person. And that's just pointless. But regardless, the only person that I know that actually like does soft defenses of him well, there's probably a lot more in the ACC, but Beckett is probably the worst one, right? Did you hear about the Silver and Deed call Lio had? I don't know who either of those people are, but I heard he did another accountability call or confrontation call or whatever. Kathy, I unbanned you from chat like yesterday or 2 days ago. You are, you know what? Fuck it. You're rebound. You know, you give somebody a fucking inch. Give somebody an inch, they'll take a mile. Give somebody an inch, they will take a mile. Okay. Anyways, I'm not hiding them because they're criticizing me. I'm hiding them because they don't believe what they're saying. It's rage bait. Lazy rage bait. Anyways, so be careful, Aiden. The Lolicons will coordinate to attack and take down this street. I'm terrified. Anyways, so Beckett, who is our, favorite Lio sweeper, had an argument with Queeman a few days ago that we've been covering. My name got brought up, but apparently Queeman pushes him on the Lio stuff. And we will take a look. We didn't get to finish it. I didn't finish it. So we're going to finish that. We've got a new video from Toastify, and we've got some other shit here. Let me just, before we go and do literally anything else, I gotta pee really bad. So give me 2 seconds. Don't go anywhere, people. We've got a good small viewership tonight. Pretty sick. 2 minutes, guys. 2 minutes. 2 minutes. And I will be right back here. Let me just really quick. I will leave you with me watching the call yesterday, and then we'll get right back into it. Hold on, I'm just gonna go pee. Or actually, I'll show you my convo with Rose Malay yesterday for those that missed it. It's total Kino, dude. It's not really, but that's okay.
Off on my phone. So I've been following everything going on, right? And there's some interactions that I've had with the dude that I've been looking back at. And I've been seeing them in a different light, and I kind of send you those videos. You can watch them afterwards or whenever you want. I don't care. So I've been looking at that, and I've been feeling some type of way. And obviously, this guy Himpleton has him on to do this weird fucking Charlie Kirk song parody. Bizarre. I don't even know. And so I basically think that I'm going to send him a message about this. Now, he had previously been DMing me because I have this video that's coming out and he wants to stream it, whatever. I'm not like huge on that, but I'm not going to like ruffle any feathers. So I figure I can use this Falgi situation to be like, hey, can you like take this down? This is kind of making me uncomfortable. And then he's just like, no. And so eventually at that point, I'm just like, you know what? I'm just like straight about how I feel. And then it turns into the whole thing. So, I mean, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So this other stuff, I guess, what do you feel like your grounds are for a copyright strike? I guess.
I can make this perfectly clear. So, first of all, when it comes to like streaming stuff, right? A lot of streamers just watch other YouTubers' videos. And I think in the vast majority of cases, YouTubers don't really care in the sense that, like, you know, their videos are doing well, they're successful YouTubers, it's all fine. But when it comes to like somebody like me, like, I don't make that many videos. And when I do make a video, I work hard on it. So, like, to see some streamer who fucking hates my guts, by the way, not that that's like relevant to, you know, being the core of the issue, but it's a factor. Somebody who hates my guts and then wants to take all the work and then streams the entire fucking video and then they profit off of it. And these are people that
Yes.
are
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. So we're gonna check out this convo. Wait, did I just hear something? Dude, I've been hearing things lately. It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. Turn around and hear someone calling my name. There's nobody there. Well, I'm sure it's nothing, man. No worries that there was a violent murder that happened in this apartment 20 years ago on this day. Okay. Fuck. Continue covering Lio. There is literally nothing to cover. But we're gonna cover Beckett, so I feel bad for Beckett. I used to feel bad for Beckett. I used to feel bad for him. But unfortunately, you don't get the luxury of feeling bad for people in this business, man. From send this big channel from. That's not Jimmy. Is somebody impersonating Jimmy O in my chat? Can you check inbox? Aiden's dad. Dad? Sorry, man. It's just a lot. It's just a lot being reunited. Okay. Fuck. It was from Kalora Vetla. Oh, fuck. It's... How do you search by specific user on Discord on desktop? It's super simple if you're doing it on phone, but for whatever reason, to search for message from a specific user on the Discord desktop application, I struggle. Cal linked it in my inbox, or was it in DMs? I don't know. Come on. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Forget it. We're scrapping the segment. I can't find it. Anyways, we have this new Toastify video. When is the next ERT report stream? The next ERT report stream is probably gonna be whenever we're having a slow topic day. I'm not sure. I'd love to. I forget to go back. Can I help you? Can I help?
Actually,
What's up?
oh my god. So this Earl report guy. Why didn't you call into when you said you were gonna call into him next week?
I forgot.
How did you forget? Are you running from a nigger or something?
Okay, thank you for calling.
Explain.
Goodbye. Alright, I will not be taking callers again for the rest of the stream. Where is, from, dude, it's just so annoying. It's just so annoying. trying to find shit. It's annoying as fuck. From Cal. Here. Yes! Alright, tag myself. Reply. And then tag myself. Lol. Okay, here we go. We got it. Maybe if you weren't so fucking stupid, you'd be able to search this stuff up really easily. I don't like... Okay, you're a fake Jimmy. Alright, we got it. 5:27:00. And then we ended like... Does anyone remember where we finished off? Somewhere like here, maybe? We listened to like a few... Hold on, here we go.
It's about having my mods as his.
I love kick
and then
playback.
Didn't tell me, and that's like, okay, so what the fuck are you doing here? Why are you hanging around with? Key
Oh,
people
and I
from,
remember
like,
Beckett acts like him being a drama, having to hear about drama as a drama YouTuber is like it's like being holocausted. It's like this is literally what you do for a living. He's like acting like he's so above this drama. He's like people keep like I'm mad because people keep bothering me about like the Fauci stuff, and it's like you literally cover drama. You cover stupid fucking drama for I don't know if he has an outside job for part of your living. I don't know why you don't think that when there's some stupid fucking drama involving one of your colleagues, people are not going to talk to you about it.
Community.
But I mean, I would never
and
tell
don't hear
someone.
about-
But would you? But okay, but you're saying it's weird because no, you seem like you said pretty clearly.
Oh, okay. So the implication here is he's there to pick up. I mean, yeah, probably.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
It's
why
just
is
like, I
Aiden,
feel like these are
why is Aiden still talking about Parry? Why is Aiden talking about Parry?
These simple
it's
reads that
difficult
you could have
shit,
gotten
like-
on Fauci like ages ago, though. No. And these
not
these
really.
these
Again, I
guys are
don't-
like bad news. You shouldn't take them remotely seriously. You know, we give morale a pass, but
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Who is we? Who's giving Morale a pass? I'm certainly not giving Morale a pass. I think what he does is degenerate as fuck, and it's cringe. And embarrassing behavior, and people who do it are embarrassing people. I don't know who we is here. This community? I don't think this community
okay.
does.
and that's
Can I
like
get these reads sooner. I mean,
I just it just baffles me. It baffles me. I'm like screaming this like
In person, you will be okay. I don't. Once again, don't ban or time out very much. I will time you out or ban you if you're just coming in here impersonating someone else. Yeah, like funny bit for like a minute, and then beyond that, it's just fucking annoying.
And then like the whole
when you say
Crexer
you
thing, the
around your
Crexer thing. Like,
example-
what's
okay,
this? What's this? Wait, one minute. I need to ask you.
Okay.
What's this I hear about Fauci lying about doing the research for the Camera F305 stuff?
I don't know, because I know basically nothing about the Cameron stuff.
Well, apparently,
The Cameron research was a group effort, really. That's where I met Fauci. There was a lot of information exchanged between parties. That was like one of the big dramas. I actually like was involved in the behind the scenes, looking into it. I was heavily involved in like giving feedback on or criticizing Morale's video. Morale, for whatever reason, didn't show me his video before he put it out, which caused like a rift within our group. But it was like a group, different people found different things. But with all my criticisms of Morale, what I will say is that in regards to the Crexus stuff, Morale carried the research. Morale carried the research there. Easy. Most of what we know about Cameron's fuck up in regards to Crexa is Morale. I don't know if Morale had maybe researchers behind the scenes that he wasn't telling me about, but all of that was like Morale. He was sharing that with everybody. To his credit, because it was a pretty big deal. Cameron lied about the police report.
Fauci did the research with Diesel's Yandere dev.
Yo, thank you with the ghouling, with the positive energy all night. Much appreciated, buddy.
And so he got the blame for
No, he
fucking up the
didn't, no.
Cameron F305 Crexer
I'm behind.
stuff.
All right, yeah. Well, TLDR, everyone who doesn't get it real quick. Beckett, longtime associate of myself and other commentators, widely perceived as being a major fence sitter who is totally okay with the acceptance accepts and is friends with and allows into a community. Lyle Convoy, who has done a billion things that are far too long to list. Beckett is a controversial figure and is disliked in a lot of spaces because he's perceived as that fence sitter. one of Beckett's associates, who's quite similar to he is in regards to what they cover, etc. Falgi has been outed as like an egocentric, weaselly, conniving, paranoid loser behind the scenes, and now Beckett is calling into Queeman to discuss the Falgi stuff. The Crexa stuff that's being referenced involves a year-old drama, which I have a video up about on my channel, Cameron F305. Crexa was like his roommate slash maybe more. They were basically like roommates. And Cameron, Crexa, I guess, had allegations against Cameron. Cameron had smeared her by claiming that a police report about his roommate was actually about her. It was not. But he claimed that in his video, and it was a major lie, and he got caught on it. That's what they're talking. Apparently, Queeman is addressing to Beckett. He's asking, what's the deal about Falgi lying about the correct? Because apparently, Falgi lied about his research about the Crexa stuff. I don't know what the deal is with that. I was involved in the camera shit behind the scenes and in front of the camera, but I know a lot about like what info was being exchanged between who behind the scenes. Because for the Cameron shit, we really did kind of have like all hands on deck for that one. It was a collaborative effort between many different people.
He took
Nanny.
Nanny did it.
Nanny-
So
Nanny did the
he took
research.
credit for it at some point, I believe.
That's fucking weird. I can go and check with Diesel.
He
but
took
my
credit for the
I need to
Crexa
know-
stuff. That was all morale. The Crexa was all morale. I definitely think that Falgi helped with research. But if I remember correctly, it was literally the Crexa, the details, and it was just morale.
Know the
Nanny
truth
was-
here. Apparently, he took
Yeah, yeah,
credit
sure,
for
I
it
can
and
I can go and find out.
took a bunch of shit for it. But then it turned out he was lying about the fact that he did it, so he took shit for it for no reason.
Wait!
Yeah, that's
Wait. Wait. Why do I kind of remember something? Why am I in... Who is Keffel? Why am I in a group chat with Bunk, Diorio, Augie, and Keffels? I'm trying to... Hold on. Where? I'm searching up... Dude, I feel like I kind of remember something about this. Dude, hold on. I'm going to try to call Morale. Will he pick up? Absolutely not. Nobody ever picks up when I'm calling. Might as well try, though, right? Yeah, Dickers might know a little bit about this, too.
funny. That's true. Yeah, I can go and talk to Diesel. and be
Somebody
like,
claimed,
is
I think
this-
they reached out to the police.
Who was your?
The police department, and I think it was not Falgi. Was Falgi not claiming that he had actually like gotten records from the police department, the original? Somebody FOIA'd, or somebody Freedom of Information Acted the original police report, and yes, it was Falgi. It was Falgi who FOIA'd it because, and then I hit Falgi up. Well, let me go to my DMs with the guy. What is his fucking Discord, dude? What is Falgi's name on Discord? Did he delete his account? Is it not Falgi anymore? I'm remembering, it's going to be in our DMs. I'm remembering all of this.
Your like research for the underage dev stuff. That's fine.
Awesome.
We can do
Okay,
that.
I need chatters to remind me stuff from earlier that I said so that I can bring it up now in case I've forgotten anything.
Yeah. While they're reminding you, what's your?
Why
have
is
you done
his
with
name
Aiden?
on Discord the op block? Because I just found out that he is not the op block. The op block is like a group effort amongst the ops, and Falgi is just a member of the op block. Yeah, I can't find. You just
What do you
lied.
mean by
You
done
just
with
made
Aiden?
that up.
I'm
Cool.
not
And you
done.
were like, well, morale gets a pass. Aiden's a retard. Are you like, well, fuck Aiden then?
Well, I don't know what you mean. Like, I'm never. I'm not.
What
like,
am I doing?
so-
I literally, you have like one thing where I can absolutely say was like a total like fucking drunken mistake. But in my whole career of 8 years, there's like one major thing that I think I've done a lot of things wrong, like a big wrong, right? There's like one thing, but I like immediately learned from that, and there's no repeat, and it's not like a pattern of behavior. There were specific contributing and mitigating factors to said mistake, and it wasn't really, so it's not like I'm like a known fuck up or whatever, right? Or like association with me is like something that's meant to be taken you will fuck up if you've been around as long as I have. You will, albeit in very different, people fuck up in different ways. But with that being said, Beckett likes to pretend like anything I've done puts me on the same or comparable level to any of his known associates who have exhibited, double my age, have exhibited a pattern of behavior that rivals anything I've ever done.
Associated people, I'm like correctly read them and discuss them accurately. You know, that's always my standard. What do you mean? Am I done with Aiden?
Okay.
I'm never done with anyone.
Okay.
Unless they're like doing something that's super damaging actively.
Yeah, like unless they're like rapist, pedophile, sure. Sure. But yeah. Oh yeah, Beckett burned the bridge with Aiden. So I've heard this. Because Aiden asked me on stream and I said no. I don't, it's not over the doxing thing. It's not over Lyo's wife. I said to Aiden on call, as long as
he doesn't need to say that. Obviously, me spreading someone's docs in a Discord chat that had already been out there is not going to be a bridge burning deal to Beckett when he hangs out with somebody that has actually originated people's doxes, has called people's schools, has used contacting people's families to threaten them to stay in calls where he further threatens them and verbally abuses them. So obviously, that's not going to, someone spreading a dox in a Discord chat one night, it's not going to be a hard line for you at all. You don't need to fucking clarify. We know who you hang out with.
Things retarded spiraling with the ACC stuff. I'm just bored of interacting with it. It's just fucking exhausting. I just don't care. When he stopped doing it.
Oh, yeah, that's the other thing I was saying earlier. You call Aiden an ACC lolcow for getting to invest in this stuff.
Also, Beckett is acting like all I do is talk. I only talk about it when it's brought up. I only talk about it, or I'm sure there's times where I've had relevant reason to bring it up, but for the most part, like, it's not like I'm sitting here relitigating this all day. If you come to me with an argument about it and you want to talk about it, it's not like this is a tough thing to talk about. I'm an open book on it. I will happily talk about this. I will talk about it with you. I'll argue about it with you just like I would any other subject. It's not a sore subject. So it's not like I'm actively sitting here like there's I'm just spiraling right now or whatever. This is a total cope. Now, a few months ago, you could have made this argument. Because a few months ago, when it was recent on my mind, it was all I talked about. I was bitter about a lot of things. It was all I talked about. But that argument doesn't work in April. That argument doesn't really work in April. It just seems like you're using some sort of a cop-out to be a pussy. Because I don't, like, you can literally set the parameters. If you talk to me on a stream, we don't have to talk about that at all, if you don't want to. I literally just wanted to talk to Beckett about him falsely claiming that I had originated the workplace of Lyo Convoy's wife. Because it's an incorrect statement. And I think that if you are willing to litigate false claims about me publicly, I want to talk to you about it, right?
You are in the same position.
How?
Because you are friends with all these people. You are deep friends with fucking Lyo Convoy and all this shit. And then when shit happens, you're there doing the exact same shit. You're getting on stream, grandstanding about absolute fucking minute bullshit, little friendship faux pas.
Hold on. Firstly, KJ is not ACC. This is like someone who's a researcher.
We already saw this.
Feeding Malcolm information, and you can't trust them. And this person's a doxer, and this person's lying.
Who did they tell they were feeding Malcolm info to?
So that they told that to like my admins. They tried to feed that information through them to me. They tried to feed it to Diesel to get Diesel to cut these people off when he's working with them. Like I think there's like I think this is also spread into like the general ACC space, though they don't operate there, so it matters less. But yeah, like from like the general community,
I'm hearing Beckett and Fauci's communities hate Malcolm for disagreeing about Lyo.
True, unironically, yes.
That's true, but I don't hate Malcolm, and I think
yes, and I don't. These communities are psychotic. Yes, somebody is going to be unpalatable when they've done what Lyo does. They're going to be unpalatable to literally everyone outside of your little fucking space of molested freaks. Okay, that's going to be a given, and they just can't get over that hunch. They can't get over that hunch. Lyo is a laughingstock. He has nothing to offer. He's a fucking dumbass, and he speaks like a retard. He's gonna be a laughingstock to any community that isn't his. So obviously, and these people just can't seem to comprehend that. They just can't. And it's like, that's a hunch you really need to get over. Your guy is a fucking ridiculous person and is going to be treated as such by anyone who's coming in from the outside.
Malcolm hates is fucking retarded.
So where
I'm
does this
friends
come
with
from?
Malcolm.
Why do they hate Malcolm? Where is this coming
Because
from?
Malcolm's really mean about me and people take it personally.
Oh,
Except
so-
for me,
okay.
apparently. I just it's gay. I'm just like, who cares? He's a
What a
content
like
creator.
soy audience,
Like
dude.
again,
Malcolm's really mean about me. So meanwhile, my audience, I have a layover audience with people who think I'm like the spawn of Satan. It's like, I don't like, your audience is like getting like upset because somebody was mean to you.
Malcolm will confirm this. We talk in DMs semi-regularly, and we're fine with each other.
Yeah,
I literally
really,
sent...
really, Beckett. The Beckett is somebody who he could potentially have beef with. Beckett is in their DMs trying to establish friendly rapport. What? Dude, I did not see that one coming, personally. That threw me off guard.
him this diesel call that I covered today.
Why do you think
He's
you
out
have
of
this
order.
intensely parasocial audience?
I think a lot of audiences are intensely parasocial, Queeman, but like I don't know. Malcolm. talks a lot of shit
In
and people get
commentary,
upset.
it is rare you're gonna have an audience that is actually getting like offended at people because they don't like you. I mean, that's not true. That's not that rare, to be fair. At least maybe I'm using my own audience as like a metric, or I don't know. But like in commentary, yeah, like I can't think of many people who just unilaterally dislike someone because that person doesn't like their like wholesome comfort streamer. So long as that person has valid grievances to litigate and can do so in the appropriate manner.
But that's not
Like,
why
Malcolm
you've
does
got
too.
the intensely
Malcolm,
parasocial audience.
no,
Because-
Malcolm also.
you
has, like,
you
an
have said, you have already classified this audience, the audience that you have. You said it about someone else's community, but it's the same audience.
I do think your audience is intensely parasocial.
And then
Queeman.
to pretend like he has a audience comparable to Queeman's is like fucking ridiculous. Queeman's, I have heavy layover Queeman. Everyone who watches me watches Queeman. I've publicly called the Queeman take stupid. Nobody's disliking me over my disagreements with Queeman, etc. If Beckett's fans literally just hate Malcolm because Malcolm has many disagreements with Beckett of substance, yeah, that's like an additional level of like parasociality.
On how it depends how you're grading it. I don't think it's more than average. No, I don't think it's more than average. There are
Fake
sometimes
laugh,
where I
the
see
fake laugh, the fake irony laugh to be like, look, you don't have a response. It's like, no, he doesn't respond. His audience just isn't that parasocial compared to yours. There's no like, you don't get an ironic W laugh.
in chat as I'm like, okay, you've got a problem. But broadly, no.
in different ways.
My audience are
I think-
militantly ideological. That's what my audience are.
True.
Okay. No, it's a different thing to parasocial. Maybe it's off-putting. Some
Yes, they're committed to an idea, not a person. And it's just Queeman advocates for that idea. Beckett's audience is not linked to an idea, they're linked to a person, which is why they'll dislike Malcolm, not because he's making bad arguments against Beckett, but because he is making arguments against Beckett.
people, but it's not the same as parasocial.
I mean, define parasocial then.
Well, it seems like you described it as parasocial. You described the ACC, Fauci's audience, that sort of end.
He
of
laughs. This is like an old head thing because they watched Medicare. They think laughing, doing like an obviously fucking fake laugh, like somehow helps you win at all. It's like, no, this just looks really especially when you're like Beckett and you're doing it when literally nothing funny has been said or has happened. I mean, dude, I'm sorry. We got to go back to this example because it was just so bizarre. The fake laugh thing is like the most like insecure, like bitch made, like loser tactic that anyone, like there are people that are legitimately funny when you talk about them. They're just like such losers that like you just laugh at what a fucking ridiculous excuse for a human being they are. But there are people that will take that concept and be like, oh, I'm laughing at this person, so they must be ridiculous. They'll force it when it's not applicable to try to get a win. And in Beckett's case, it has just come across as like insanely awkward because, where is it? Because he forgets to turn it off, and he'll do it when he's talking about the person he wants you to think is ridiculous, and he'll do it when there is nothing funny that's like even happening. Like, hold on. Here it we're just going back to this because I felt like I was losing my mind when we saw it. I still can't get over this because it was so fucking like bizarre. I think it was here. Timestamp. Like, yeah, here it is. It's like right here. Timestamp 51 minutes. So I wake up and I hear that Beckett is talking about me on stream, and I see is like my chat. It's where I go to talk to the community, figure out what's going on. So all I did was I just went into Icy and I asked, is Beckett like discuss, because I didn't know what was going on. And this is Beckett's reaction to this ridiculous thing. It's obviously ridiculous, so please laugh when he pulls it up as hard as he is laughing.
And awesome, because I'm done. Are we done? Are we done with this shit? Yeah, I think we're done with this shit, aren't we? Okay, cool. Let me close a couple of these tabs. Let me get rid of some of this shit. Right.
Oh wait. Never mind. He already wait. Fuck. He already brought it up. That's him close. Oh, here it is. Honest behavior, we mocked another. His show's on now.
Yes, why would you think he's Greek? Why would you think he's Greek? Yes, Aiden, I am talking about you. What's that? I can't believe Nicholas Diorio goes to his Discord to bitch about people and talk about things that are
Never a criticism I made. I've never criticized you going to your Discord chat to talk about things. Have I ever criticized that? I just love, because he's doing the whole hypocrisy thing. He's like, look, you're doing the thing that I never said that. That was never a point of, my point of criticism against Diorio was that Diorio, like Beckett, runs from hard conversations. So he'll say what he wants to say in a chat that won't give him, a chat that is already built up of fans of his that won't give him hard or critical pushback whilst not being willing to go and engage in critical discussions. I talk to my Discord chat, but just like everyone on Earth is welcome to go into my Discord, to call into my streams. I will argue with you. I will debate you live, just as I challenged Beckett to do when he refused. So I've never criticized somebody for using the application of Discord. But what is Beckett's reaction, besides attacking the straw man? What is Beckett's reaction to this hilarious comment?
going on.
Like, am I insane? Or, like, is this not what a crazy person does? Like, when there's, like, nothing funny, you just, like, burst into, like, this, like, random maniacal laughter. It's, like, schizophrenia. That is, like, I think, that is a positive symptom of schizophrenia. Just, like, emotion that occurs that isn't justified in response to any stimuli that's present. Did Beckett talk about me? It's like he's forced. You could just tell how hard he forced it. So you just look like insecure and awkward because you have to time it. If you're going to do this tactic, you have to time it when something like actually conceivably funny is starting to happen. If you just do it anytime the person you want to look like you find them funny, that person, if you just do it anytime they do anything, we're going to catch on. We're going to know that it's fake, which we can clearly do here. But I think they get it from Medicare. Yeah, Diorio does the same shit. It's like nothing funny has just happened. Hold on. 56. We're at timestamp 5:56. By the way, if you guys are enjoying the stream so far, you can tip to support us. Another great way to support us is by liking if you haven't already for some fucking reason. Instead of freeloading and being a lazy fuck, you should like the stream. Another great way to help us is by clipping. So shout out to all of our clippers. I saw Navakva post a new clip. Super bass, bro. But yeah, join the Discord, or follow me on Twitter, all that good stuff.
Generally, I'm not available to my audience in that way. No one is really sending me things other than content they think I'd be interested in, or like something they want to see me cover. I'm not like having nice conversations with these people. That's not the same for Falgi or other creators. I think everyone. I think to an extent, I would meta conversation. All stream audiences become parasocial to some level, but the only people I really talk to on Discord are other creators, mate.
I don't think that's what we were talking about. I don't think it was just about Fauji talking to his audience. No, we were talking about the nature of the audience being parasocial. We were not, back when you referred to them as parasocial, we were not just talking about.
Well, I
And
described
it's the same
described
audience. Beckett's like in denial that his audience and Fauji's, it's like literally one and the same. It's one and the same. They always need to be looking at everything from a perspective of us, and then there's those guys over there. You are that guy. This is your audience. This was your friend. This is your associate, and the audience has heavy layover. By Beckett's own admission, all of Beckett's mods are literally Fauji's mods. So it's not like there's that community over there. This is a part of your community. This would be like me talking about the Queeman audience, the Dickers audience. It's like, the truth of the matter is, a lot of those, that's my people too, right? So it's just weird how he's trying to do the thing he's very used to doing with everyone else. He's trying to do it to like one of his associates. It's like, no, he was with you. We could all see that. Hold on. Just drop something.
members, if they don't get enough attention, leaving and getting upset is intensely parasocial. But I don't feed those people. That's why these people in this case
he doesn't
fucking
feed
turned
these
on me.
people. But if you draw Beckett with breasts, which his audience members have done, he will make it his profile picture and shit.
Because I didn't engage in that parasocial behavior. Because it's fucking weird.
He doesn't engage with parasocial behavior, but when his audience is like sissy hypnoing him, he's like all on board, man. All on board.
Right? If I was engaging with it, I wouldn't have had like people leave my community over this and lost mods. Those parasocial people would stay because I'd be doing it. Like
okay. So don't you think, Beckett, it may have something to do with the fact that you surround yourself with people that do this intensely parasocial thing with their audience? That you're with Lio Convoy, who does like the 50-person Senate calls, which is like half of, it's like more people than he has watching his streams half the time, I'm sure. That there's a Fauji around.
He doesn't actually do those anymore because now they actually happen in like some server that is a different name. And clearly, when we say the Senate calls, the problem was just the name of the server. Obviously, that was the criticism, right? So when they say, no, guys, it's completely different. He's completely changed. He's doing something completely different. They literally mean the name of the server he's doing it in has changed, or he's doing it in someone else's server instead of his own. Yeah, because that's like, yeah, totally different. Completely different thing.
All these people around that all have these big discords where they're doing all this insane shit. And then you've now got all of those people, all those hundreds of people collectively that are involved in these intense parasocial
Beckett said he wanted to restart the Thunderdome, like a place people could go get in and like argue and shit flang. Or it was the Thunderdome or Parliament. And when Beckett, and he wanted to do that so me and Lio could hash it out. But when Beckett did that, the idea of Lio debating me was such a terrifying concept that one of Lio's people literally rushed to go make their own. And like they had it specified in the rules section, things you were not allowed to talk to Lio about. It's just like the amount of like cowardice is insane.
Following you around as well.
Well, I've got a mix, right? So my Discord is like active with say 100 people. But like most of my viewers are not in my Discord, mate. Right?
Well, that's
that's.
Oh my god! What, dude? What? Most of his viewers are not in his Discord. This is a very uniquely Beckett community thing. This is how not parasocial Beckett's community is. Most of his members are not in his Discord. Wait, next you're gonna tell me that most of your subscribers don't super chat you. Wait. Yeah. Totally beat the parasocial allegations. He won.
Like super active in my Discord every fucking day.
Sure.
And I would consider that as my core audience. My Discord's like the community that's grown around it, but it's like I don't know. Okay, this is like a really hard one to argue because sure, maybe.
But I think okay. I guess my point is here. It seems like you're You're saying, oh, I hate all this
I'm
parasocial.
not. This is so fucking annoying. I'm just me. I cover what's interesting. I'm not committing to covering one thing or another. So long as if Lio is interesting for 2 more weeks, I'll cover Lio for 2 more weeks. If this again, there's no. It's not like I'm doing this again or doing that again or realize. I'll just cover what's relevant to talk about.
Stuff.
Everybody like needs to autistically categorize everything. Like, you're doing this. You're part of this community. You're covering. I just cover interesting shit, right? I'm not a politics YouTuber because I've covered politics. I'm not a fucking.
It does seem to gravitate around you, and
it has a bleed over, sure.
And you don't seem to you know, the people doing it, the people that are causing it, the nexus points for all these parasocial people. You're not like sat there like, oh wow, yeah, this Fauci guy's like kind of a fucking retard, and he's involved in all this Discord shit. You're not like sat there saying that and being oppositional to it. Only at the very, only at the 11th hour is it?
So okay, my answer would be to that. If I had known of the extent that Fauci was being parasocial with this group, I would have done something sooner.
Yeah, just take his word for it.
Would have been a fucking issue. And I will say this as well, like,
for
I
sure,
don't know,
for
I don't know
sure.
whether this is
has nothing to do with the public now realizing how parasocial he's been. It literally is. Had Beckett known, he totally would have gotten up and done something. He wouldn't have swept or anything. Because when would Beckett do something like that? Why would Beckett sweeps next year? Dude, next year you're gonna tell me that Adam wants to debate, dude.
I don't know, comes across in the stream. I've had issues with Fauci because I said I'm bitching about him. Like, Fauci and I have had like issues over the last couple of months because he's become intensely annoying, and other people have noticed. So it's not like I haven't done anything. Like, I've had comments about it because, like, yeah, he's like fucking gone off the wall way fucking more.
What do you mean by
that? He started to get like really egotistical. Like, I think I described him as LARPing as 2016 Keemstar to his face.
1 sec.
It was just intensely gay, and like he came on my stream at one point and he was like, "Oh, if you say this about my friend Quite, I like had to stop him before he started like giving like a fucking death threat."
Yeah, we already covered that part. People really do. As somebody who's had multiple times of success, the people really do. You think you call it ego in others, and you think you're immune to it and shit until you actually have power and you actually have success, and that is what gets people. And I will admittedly, when things have gone well for me for such a prolonged period of time, I guess subconsciously at points I've seen myself as like untouchable. I'm so confident in my ability to argue. Like, I have support. I'm so confident in my ability to counteract the claims I dispute and debate anyone, etc. You at some point really just start feeling like a little bit untouchable. And ego, if you don't do introspection and maintain some awareness surrounding it, it does grow. It's hard to keep in check. And well, hold on.
Eat the accusation of like I tolerate retards too much, sure.
But it doesn't just seem like, no, I think you are too involved. I think you do, because you talk about how you've been in people's DMs like all day doing it. Like, really, does it take? I just don't see that it takes that much.
For this, I have. Right?
But I feel like I've heard this said many times by you. I feel like I've heard this in like numerous dramas, like surrounding Lio Convoy and the ACC. You're like always like,
yeah, like when I'm trying to like work out information, but you know, it's like. I'm just trying to gather as much stuff to put a stream together. But the fact that I even have to do that, right? The fact
is it just about the stream? Like, is it purely just business oriented? It's just about. Does anyone believe that? There's no personal motive here for like behind the scenes investment. It's literally all just for stream stuff. I don't buy that.
These people. If I was this involved, why would I have to go and do that? I just know what was going on. I'm not posting. People can go and check. I'm not posting in Cat Slayer or.
You could be even when I was at like my most involved with like my Discord server, and like I still didn't always know what the fuck was going on.
I'm not even in the guac barrel. I barely post on my own fucking Discord. I don't post in Opblock. I'm not around these fucking I'm not like.
Yeah, I guess I see it as a problem that you even know all those names. To be honest.
Yeah, it's just cope. It's literally cope. It's cope. The reason the guac barrel should didn't Beckett literally to Beckett's credit, he was gonna do this to my benefit, but didn't Beckett literally collaborate for there to be a new Discord server that got started, a new Thunderdome that I was just talking about? It was either the Thunderdome or the Parliament. Him and Gilded Poo collaborated to make a new version of that, right? Which is just like where the ACC could come into and hash out arguments, and every shitter is in there. He made one of those, right? Or at least coordinated or collaborated in making it. He is absolutely involved in the community side of things, and for whatever reason, is just completely downplaying it to Quayman and distance himself.
Like you even just
Hold
said
on,
those
you know the
words to
names of
me.
other content creators' Discords, Queeman. Come on.
Yeah, but not
Come
those
on.
ones. Not those ones.
Yeah, okay, fine.
I know.
Quayman will join VCs to play games with people. More than that, or like Quayman has like one-sided conversations where he'll be interested in something. He'll very rarely, he doesn't do this very much. I think, ironically enough, he came into my chat to ask me if I saw this very conversation. But he'll like drop by very rarely into people's servers to like either ask them about something, or he'll join VC to play to find people to play whatever game he's fucking playing. Other than that, he's relatively uninvolved. Beckett is like coordinating. Beckett has proposed like he either did create or was involved in the creation of like community servers where drama could be litigated. Beckett is at a level of involvement with the ACC far more than Queeman is like personally and off stream involved with like commentary.
I know spicy chat, icy chat, nuki chat. That's the ones I.
Okay. Sure. You hang out in a better or know about a better class of Discord shitter area.
Well, it's also just those three.
Literally, hands down, icy chat is better than any ACC Discord. I've been in them. I've said my chat is degenerate. I'm not saying it because it's my chat. I'm saying it because I can admit when my chat are fucking psychos because it's happened. My chat's been hell. But hands down, like if you've been in both, you just understand that when you talk to someone from the ACC, it feels like you're talking to a kid. They're adults, all of them are adults, but they have this like, I don't know if it's a disability. They all have this like accent, the ACC accent, where they all talk weird. They just don't get things. They think people like Lio Convoy are like cool. They're just living in their bubble, and it doesn't feel like you're talking to an equal human being. It doesn't feel like you're talking to an equal human being. And you just don't get that. And hell, even Nuki, dude, IC don't get that, and even Nuki, as if it's like a chat with different people. But yeah, it's just like, it's hands down, with all the shit I have to say about my audience and commentary and everything, it's not even fucking close. If anything, you take a trip to the ACC to feel better about this community. It doesn't come close.
You know, I probably couldn't name any more than that. And then you just named up the guac barrel. The fuck is the guac barrel, dude?
I don't know. It's some server that got made. The only reason I know about guac is because it got made as part of the 2024 drama as like a middle ground for everyone to speak. So it's like
that was a server that gave room for Lio to go do more confrontations without actually owning the server. So because him and the people around him are so fucking stupid, they think it's not the same thing if he's doing it in a different server because they're moronic.
How I actually
dude,
I'm banned from the guac, or I'm in the guac barrel, but I'm internally banned. I can't, just like all these other ACC. Lio Convoy at one point was literally so terrified of debating me, I was internally banned from most of these servers. In the like new debate argument server they made, I got put in my own chat, separated from everybody else. And so what I did in that own chat was they did it so everyone else could view the chat that I was in. So I started typing out every single argument against Lila for everybody to go take a look at, because I knew all eyes were on that chat. So I started typing out my so what they did was they made it so I could like type, I was on a slow mode of like, I could type one message every like 24 hours. And then eventually, so I just kept going every 24 hours. So eventually I think they just took away my ability to talk.
These 24 drummers and middle grade, like, well, how do you, so I think this is getting to what I mean by too involved. Too invested. The fact you feel it necessary to cover these things, to go through the absolute minutia of when this Discord was made, for what reason.
I do like shitty drama.
But does that actually matter to the shitter drama, or does what matters to the shit?
Almost like it's not too good for you to cover Falgi. almost like you can't do this thing where you pretend like you're burdened by the Falgi drama when people tell you about it, as if it's not like literally the thing you cover.
Is it just, oh, this person's talking about the fact they got molested? Oh, Falgi's cheating on his wife. That's the shitter drama. That's the go. It's not, oh, well, you see, these Discords got made for this reason.
You just asked me, but you're asking me.
But no, but you've looked into it. Why? Why do you feel the need to get this absolutely perfectly right for the ACC shitters, you know, Discord dramas? What? Why do you not just cover it as
talking about tomfoolery and getting stuff wrong? I can't believe I can't.
When it's like retarded relationship shit, that it's like, yeah, you're getting the story. When it's actually the story is being got wrong, that makes sense to get up to be annoyed with.
Okay,
that's not the story. The Discord splinters is not the story. That's
Look
not the story.
Look how easy he crumbles. Look how easy he fucking crumbled. Because the thing about Queeman is very good at conveying the image of aggression, or like in threat detection. He's like, you know, you said make yourself big to scare off a bear. That's how Queeman kind of is in debates. You think like this is going to be a super hard conversation, and et cetera, and someone like Beckett, who's conflict avoidant, is detecting a threat, and look at how easily this pussy crumbles. Like, you just bring up the tomfoolery shit, like you had an argument to make, and then he shoots you down on that, and you just fucking crumble. You just crumble.
The story.
Okay, sure. I mean, I'm just saying where stuff happened, and again, sure, I'll try and be less autistic.
I'll try to be like less autistic and stuff, Queen. Sad. Grown men, by the way. Grown men. Pussies.
But it just seems like you are too invested, and that's where this grandstanding comes from. It's like you are so in the mud. So deep in the mud. And it's like, just makes no sense.
But with this one, but again, like, we've just had these two dramas, right? We've got the Vlad one, and we've got this one. And with the Vlad stuff, I'm not grandstanding. I'm laughing at Vlad being a fucking degenerate, right? I'm also like, the Tempest shit, like, side of the shit is like fucking crazy. She leaked this herself. She's fucking
nobody. This is sweet. This is sweet. Whenever they talk about Tempest, it is not that crazy. Tempest is a fucking washed up Discord fucking cum dumpster that everybody and their mom in the ACC, every lonely fat fucking loser in the ACC, like Beckett and all of his friends. Well, Beckett hasn't done this, but like people like Beckett and all of his friends has e-sexted. This person is a whore that moves from one person to the next. They have no reputation to defend. They don't make videos. They're literally just a chatter. So it's not like anybody's like preconceived opinions about this person have been violated, right? By the knowledge that they lied about leaking, because somebody had leaked the Tempest Gilded Poo shit to like lolcow farms, and it turns out that it was actually Tempest that did that. Nobody gives a flying fuck about that, and they only over-exaggerate and constantly emphasize, like, Tempest is a bad person too, so that they can sweep and remove some of the pressure off of Gilded. The truth of the matter is, when there's a story of poor behavior involving a creator and somebody with a platform and somebody with something to lose, and then there is somebody within this story who's also doing bad things, who has no platform and nothing to lose, there's nothing to hold up or whatever, or tear down, all of the focus will be on the creator. Because the notable story is not that bad people exist, it's that this creator is a bad person. So that's what all the focus goes on to. It's like Destiny with the solo shit. It's like you have this solo guy that was also involved in leaking these nudes or whatever, and Destiny and everyone is like, but solo. The truth of the matter is, solo is probably worse than Destiny in many facets, or especially in regards to the leaking shit. But nobody cares, because we don't know who the fuck Solo is. This guy doesn't have a channel we watch. He doesn't have a reputation. There's nothing to take. There's nothing to take from him. The interesting story is not that a bad thing happened. It's that there was somebody we know, a notable creator, was the one doing it. So I don't know why all they talk about is, but Tempest. Nobody gives a fuck.
Well, I'm not grandstanding about it. Like, sure, if you want to say I am grandstanding about this Killjoy stuff, that's fine.
And the Ash stuff. And the Ash stuff. That's fine, but that's not because of the ACC. I'm pushing back on you because you have watched me be like this over similar dramas long before I was. I definitely feel like I've seen a marked change in the ACC stuff. I definitely feel like I see the same thing between you and Aiden of just getting way too invested and being like, Like it's
Okay,
like it gets
so-
to a point where it's
sure.
like you're friends with all these people, and you are vicariously feeling emotions. You're hating people because they're in drama with people you know.
That is
Like,
not why I hated Lio, by the way, just so we're clear. This is the false narrative that people like Beckett perpetuated in hindsight, that my hatred of Lio was a result of Goat Cat. I admit that I hated Lio too much in regards to, like, I did take it too personally. I was super invested in it, and I was totally consumed by hatred. But that was not because of her. He didn't even do anything to her that was that bad. If anything, Goat Cato fucked over Lio at the time. But regardless, that is not why I covered the guy. I covered the guy because he exhibited behavior that I guess for whatever reason I am personally very aggrieved by. I could do a whole psychoanalysis and figure out why that is. And there probably are some reasons, but the truth of the matter is he just exhibited shitty behavior that personally resulted in a very hate-filled response from myself that I got heavily invested in. And that's that, right? But there's the false, you sort of, it's, what is it, yellow journalism? There's like the real story, and then there's like the kind of tongue-in-cheek version of the story that's like funny to say, but if we actually break it down, it's like the bear. Yes, it was the Rosa call that like motivated a complete and total hatred of this person, to the point where I was like obsessively A-logging him, sure. And it was, there are reasons for that I don't care to go into, but at the end of the day, it was not for a fucking woman, or somebody I know. It was me. It was innate.
too much, and that's like a problem. Like, no one can avoid being friends with people and being too close once in a while.
Can I push?
but-
Can I push back on that a little bit, because I don't think that's fair. I genuinely think that's unfair, because lots of people hate Malcolm. I don't hate Malcolm. I'm still friendly with him. Lots of people hate conspiracy Lima. I don't hate Lima. I get on with Lima.
Well, because Beckett is conflict avoidant. It's better to it's better to placate your enemies in the mind of someone like Beckett than be on bad terms with them. But when you're friends with Lio, you don't like when people cover him negatively. You have someone like me who is making tons of arguments against him, many of which are being reused, which Lio, without addressing me directly, has expressed personal, annoyance at or whatever. You hear that I've had this drunken fuck up where I'm trying to be funny and do something like weeks after I've ended the Lio coverage, where I do something where I'm trying to be funny that goes too far, right? In a Discord chat one night, right? You then, what Beckett does is, sure, he doesn't hate me, sure, he likes me, but what he actually does is he's trying to subtly get me to quit and stop talking about Lio, period. And it sort of works. I believe Beckett's coming from a place of concern, and he basically tells me if he were me, he would step away, like, from this. And I think I was saying to him, like, yeah, like, I think I am going to step away, I think I am going to quit, and he was, like, on board that so he doesn't have to, he gets the same result as if he doesn't like me over the Lio shit, but he doesn't have to deal with the conflict of it. It's coming from a place of care, concern. He likes me, just like he likes Malcolm, but I think that's literally just to placate a possible adversary in the course of being conflict avoidant. That's just my inference at this point. I'm not quite sure.
Lots of people hate fucking.
I thought Beckett was my friend. And I thought to myself that the day that some shit happened and I had nobody with me, although I shit on the people he decides to keep around, the dude is just very loyal. I thought he had the Augie problem, where it's just like his problem is he's just loyal to a fault. But then I realized that's not true, actually, at all. He's just, for whatever reason, particularly loyal to these bad people. I don't know what he gets out of the shit with Lio. I'm not quite sure. There must be something there.
Who else? Like, lots of people hate you. Or they hate fucking Aiden or Morale.
No, okay, yeah. So yeah, like, I think you're missing what I'm saying. I'm not saying that you hate you're like on teams or some shit like that. That's not what I'm saying.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying when something personally hurts one of your friends, and that's the drama that's being covered, it's quite, because you're friends with so many people, that's happening like all the time. And it's not saying your take's changing. It's not saying that you're just going along with it because you're friends with the people. It's saying that when you're giving your criticisms, you are grandstanding, you're getting upset about intricate parts of this drama that don't actually really matter to the story. That
Okay.
I don't know how else to put it.
Well,
I
like,
don't know how else to put
okay,
it.
sure. If that's okay, I'm always happy to reflect, as you know. I'm happy to like have a look over my content. I'll admit I've been doing a lot of ACC shit. I kind of like some of the commentary stuff has just really annoyed me, and I got really fucking bored of hearing about Ethan Hassan Destiny. So I'm very deep in the weeds. I'll happily accept that. Yeah, if I'm doing that, that becomes fair criticism. Dude, I don't mind being like, I don't know, having it pointed out to me because I don't want to be like that.
The problem is not
So
surely
that's what you're
Queeman's
saying.
criticism not that he's covering the
That's
ACC, right? Because people treat covering the ACC like you're in rehab or so. Like, there's not a problem with you covering the ACC. It's just the level of behind the scenes personal involvement.
That's definitely what I was seeing last night. That's what I was seeing last night.
Last night, I will agree with you. That is what I'm doing.
Apparently around here, it's about to get really good. Okay, that's what I'm being told. I missed. Apparently, somewhere right around here, it is going to get good.
I am annoyed, like on behalf of KJ Nash, and it's not because they're my friends, because I don't hang out with these people. It is because, like, especially with KJ, I will completely own this. It's a guy who's like helped me and is doing a load of work for me for free because of the shit I went through last year with the channel, and I need the help. So I do have an emotional investment. Like, Fauji's fucking over somebody who's done like a massive favor to me. So yeah, I am going to have that like stronger thing, right? Is that unreasonable?
No, that's not wholly unreasonable. No.
Okay.
No,
But yeah,
that
sure,
is. No, that's unreasonable. I disagree. That's very unreasonable.
morally
Will I
grandstanding
elaborate? No.
last night. I was pissed off. I was more pissy than normal. I don't want my content to be like that totally, and or at all. I never want to have to do this again. I never want it to occur again. But yes, sure. If your criticism is like I'm grandstanding, I will own that position. But KJ's been good to me, and I will grandstand on this. Yeah, sure. If it becomes more of a thing, if it's more of a problem, then I'll correct it because I shouldn't be doing that.
Check Discord inbox. Hold on. I'll check Discord inbox. I know that the idea of me without a broom in my hand is breaking some people's brains here, Lamau. Would it help if I open my next few streams reading a random Falgi Rena DM? Slug has apparently put the full logs out now, so I have some to pick from. Okay, so why is this being directed at Cloudy? Falgi had a major influence over all of this down to firing the mod team and his obsession with... Oh my, is he gonna do what I think he's doing? Is he doing what I think he's doing? Take, like, the lesser party in the story and focus a lot of blame on them so that it's diffused when it's given against your friend? Is that what he's gonna do here? I haven't been following as well as I should, but this is, like, gonna be the second time I know of him doing this, if he did this. This is my official invitation. Oh my god. Dude, it is the same fucking thing. In what world is this not a Senate call? In what world is this not a Senate call, you fucking pussies? It is literally. I can't. I can't. I have a nuke. And I want to drop it. And for this, because I want to help. Because I don't want to fuck over someone else. I'm not. But oh my fucking god, it is so clear. It is so clear, dude. It is so clear what is going on. They literally, they want to focus on the other party here to diffuse the blame on Falgi, one of their own. When the fucking shit is happening, with Gilded Poo and Tempest, we all want to focus on Tempest. Like, this is some, like, respected person whose reputation has now been destroyed, right? Even though they're an absolute nobody who did the lesser embarrassing thing and had no, like, platform to be taken away in the first place. There's literally no reason to focus on them for more than 2 seconds. But now supposedly everybody is, like, super interested that some shitter leaks something. And it's really morally wrong. And so nobody gives a fuck. You just care that it's your friend that the leaks affected. Now, so you're going to pretend like you care. But now, the guy who supposedly doesn't do these accountability calls anymore and doesn't do, is in a server that is, I was in my own chat in this they have, I'm pretty sure in this server, they have explicit rules about shit you are not allowed to ask Lio Convoy about because he's such a fat fucking pussy that he has to have his own rules of like debate points you can't use against him. But they're going to get him to moderate a group call with a peanut gallery where they are all confronting this one fucking nobody. It is the same thing. It is the same thing. Everything. It is the Senate all over again. I just don't understand what fucking retard is actually going to get up here and say this is in any way substantially different from the shit Lio used to do. I just don't get it. He has not fucking changed. And I knew he didn't change. I knew he wasn't going to change because Lio doesn't know what he did wrong. This was a convo I had with Beckett. Beckett was like, he's changed because he hasn't repeated the behavior. And I said, well, don't you think like for redemption and for like changing, you actually have to know what you did wrong in the first place? And Beckett's like, well, yeah. And I'm like, well, yeah, but, and I'm saying Lio has demonstrated he doesn't actually know what he did wrong based on the soft justifications he provided for it and hasn't changed. And Beckett's like, we'll have to see. We'll have to see. He is doing the same fucking thing, Beckett. He's doing the same fucking thing. Oh my god, this guy, dude. I'm back. The ACC lolcow is back, okay? I'm back. I'm back. I'm thinking I'm fucking back. Hide your wives. I'm coming. I'm coming. Hide your wives. This is, like, it's just shameful. It's just completely, no excuse. No excuse. I want Lio. Obviously, I completely. This is how I take accountability for my sake. I understand if Lio's now going to use this as his cop out for not talking to me. My mistake. At pretending like he was ever going to talk to me to begin with. The guy who is a Hugbox Discord that he technically doesn't own with explicit rules about points of criticism you can't bring up to him. I'm sure he was going to talk about me up until I reposted that shit of his wife that's been reposted 1,000 times over because he openly shares her last name and address with every debate opponent. I'm sure that's the reason he doesn't want to talk to me, and not because this is a fat pussy that hates confrontational or critical conversations. If that's the reason they're going to cite, I want Lio to call. I want to see a Lio Queeman debate, dude. I'd love to see that shit. Beckett actually seriously tried to pretend like the Discord shit was the reason Lio was now not going to talk to me, and I didn't let him. I did not let him like wiggle out of that one. I did not, because it's like, why are you pretending like he was going to talk to me up until this? Yeah, Lio. If Lio ever knew the full extent of what he did wrong, he would understand that he should never be delegated or be put in a position where he has responsibility over handling some Discord dispute, any dispute or confrontation for that matter. He's completely demonstrated that he is dangerously reckless and incompetent and a fucking fat moron when it comes to like any duty of responsibility over these conversations, and will happily jeopardize whoever needs to be jeopardized to get some like applause from the retarded peanut gallery in the call.
Call out other people for grandstanding. I've called out Aiden and Morale for doing this moral posturing shit. I think it's gay. So if that is like infecting me, it needs correcting. But in this case,
wait, where?
It's just
my headphones.
yeah.
I think my headphones unplugged. Dude, I know something, and it explains how these people. Dude, you know who you are in this audience. You know who you are. You know that unless you give me permission, it's not gonna get out there. Doesn't matter who begs me, right? But I want you, person who can control whether or not I can leak this right now, who I am respecting the wishes of, I want you to heavily reconsider this. Heavily reconsider this. Or I want you to ask your guy to reconsider this.
Yeah, I will stick my neck out for KJ. He's been good to me. He deserves it.
I'd give it to all of you right now, but I don't want to. I'm not gonna fuck someone over like that.
Something else I had a moment ago.
Yeah, Cloudy. Unironically, this Cloudy. This should just how I gave this offer to anyone. You should agree to, because they'll make fun of you if you don't join the call. Say, I will join the call. But since it's going to be like an 80v1, I think a mediator of my choice should also be allowed to be present in the conversation, and you should appoint that mediator to be me or like Malcolm or somebody. I don't think Malcolm would do it, so me.
Okay, there's a couple of things as well.
Sure.
So, it feels like you can tell, or you could tell at one point. Maybe this is slipped by, but I seem to remember you talking about how, you know,
okay, all right, something's in the works.
All the Lio found family shit is,
Yeah.
and moving people in with you and all this stupid shit.
Yeah.
Now, Falgi seems to be that exact same type of person, basically, where he's going around trying to pick people up online and fly them out to him and shit like that.
Okay, I will.
And it seems like, you know, you didn't notice. It just went over your head.
I had no idea. I had literally no idea.
So you didn't know that he had been in like a previous marriage that fell apart, and he.
Do I really care about that reason to not leak what you told me? I'm sorry. It's for the greater good. It's for the greater good. It has to come out. It has to come out. I'm sorry. So you've just confirmed to me you would not be fucked if I leaked this. Just inconvenience. And it's like, this is so good. I feel like inconveniencing you, honestly, kind of, just give me permission. Clear my conscience. Just give me permission to do what I'm about to do anyways. Please. Okay? It'd be a good deed. Just consent. Just DM me you consent. You'll be... Look at how many people you're about to make happy. Absolve my conscience. Absolve me of guilt. And tell me I can do this right now. We don't have a day. We right now. Why do you need... Give me one reason why you'd need a day. Give me one reason.
Oh, I knew that he'd
Cloudy
been
online
divorced.
and
I knew he'd been divorced. I didn't know anything about his relationship stuff. I didn't know that he was dating all these chatters. I didn't know he was sexting people. I didn't know, like, there was multiple people.
You need to make sure it's real. We don't know if it's real. We don't know if it's real. The rumor itself is pretty damaging. We don't need to confirm if it's real or not. Because I'm not stating it as if it were real. I'm stating it as if I heard, because it's true. I heard. I don't know if it's true or not. Libel? It's not libel, you fucking retard. Are you serious? That's not libel. Why did Beckett break up with Stardust? Why? That's a good question. I want to know. I personally want to know. Why did Beckett and Stardust have the breakup? Why? I think since it's very funny to discuss ACC relationship dramas, what I want to know, Beckett, is why you and Stardust broke up. Why? Why, Beckett? I give you the opportunity to answer. You have until tomorrow to answer this question publicly, or I will answer it for you. And trust me, you do not want me answering this for you. Why did you and Stardust break up?
Technology has had these like fucking
Why?
relationships.
I am just so curious, personally. I'm just so curious.
It is. I agree with you. Completely fucking wretched and retarded. I had no fucking idea about it. If I had known, I would have directly called him out for it. I didn't know about Vlad's stuff with
Monstrous. Why is that name ringing such a bell? What? It's just, there's like, that name for some reason right now, it's just ringing, it's just ringing bells. I don't know why, there's something so familiar about it. There's just something so familiar about this name, and I just can't put my finger on it. And I was hoping that Beckett could help me figure it out, honestly. I was hoping, Beckett. I was hoping, man.
With Tempest either.
I guess I just see the signs. I guess I just see these people as those people, and it feels like I definitely saw you on a stream.
I was hoping if you could help me figure out what the nature of your conversations with the person that runs this Thunderdome server, the hub for all ACC arguments and discussions, where the hard questions are going to be asked that we want to get to the bottom of. The thing that was Beckett's idea to relaunch, despite in the call with Queeman diminishing the amount he is involved with like the ACC behind the scenes community aspects, the server that is run by this monstrous person. What is your relations to this person by chance? Because I really want to know. I really want to know.
You, Chris the Narc, Faugi, and Diesel on a stream I watched a bit of earlier, talking about some Lily Orchard's drama, I think, or it was about Psy versus Lio versus Pooh. That was the name of the stream or some shit. And Faugi's on there, and he's saying, he's basically giving the Lio defense argument, as I understand it, where he's saying, Lio moved this person in, and they were told to get a job and stop smoking in the house, and that they considered that abusive, and that's all Lio did.
Yeah, no, I think the like worst thing that Lio did to this person is, you know, when they were like a minor, you know, like getting them into a call with the person that he believed was grooming them, and then embarrassing them over being groomed and blaming them for. I think that honestly was probably the worst thing he did to that person, Jordan, right? That on top of, now we can't trust his word for it. According to Lio on the Stardust stream, Lio actually suggested the idea of when he believed that Jordan was going to be sexually assaulted by their mother's boyfriend, Lio actually suggested the idea of just like letting it happen and filming it. CSAM, right? He claims he suggested that to Jordan. He claims now that that was a misspeak. He never told Jordan he never said that to Jordan, but he defends the idea. He thinks it's a good idea. Meaning, if he actually didn't, and if he actually never recommended that to Jordan, he would have. Because he literally defends the idea of doing that. He still thinks that was the best option. Whether or not he actually told the minor to do it, you have to take him at his word. And old Lio says he did tell the minor. New Lio says he doesn't. So we don't know who to believe here. We don't know who to believe.
What did was tell them to stop smoking in the house and get a job, and that's abuse, and this has never been contested. It's like the whole thing is abusive from the start. That's Lio's whole goal in moving people in, is to abuse them, because he's an abusive fat old man. That's the whole point.
Whoa, dude, it's so bad. Okay, dude. Sorry, dude. I'm just like, it's just like, is this like what trans people feel when they describe gender euphoria? I'm having Lio euphoria, dude. I'm having Lio euphoria right now.
He's looking for disabled adults online that he can move in and have power over. That's obviously what the whole point of the fan family shit is. That's obviously why people do shit like that online, moving random fucking disabled adults in. That's obviously what's happening.
It's literally on a small scale. People say I'm dramatic. They make fun of me because when I did this comparison, but it's the same shit, just on a smaller, less brutal scale, obviously. But it's the same mentality that causes someone to start a cult. I'm serious. It's the same mentality. It's just conducted at like a significantly smaller scale. This person wants a group of yes men loyalists that devote their life to them, and where they are the center of authority and attention, and taking on the father role of all these disabled adults, easily influenced disabled adults who fight battles on your behalf, etc., allows you to do that. I mean, they literally would call him dad. That it is cult mentality, 150%.
The whole thing is fucking abuse. So he's sitting there giving this retarded defense of Lio while you're on stream.
And Lio's like, he's comparing me to fucking Jim Jones, because Lio's like so retarded, doesn't understand comparisons. And Lio literally, in his mind, Lio thinks I'm saying he killed 900 people. That was in fact not what I was saying. To my knowledge, Lio Convoy has not killed 900 people. But I was explaining how, you know, I followed Jones, like San Diego State University has a very good website documenting it and old tapes. I followed that extensively. And I'm saying like some of the I was just comparing some of the dynamics I saw with my knowledge of, you know, certain cult, like just in the sense of Lyo's need for this like group of vulnerable people to be surrounding him at all times, and like him being like the center of authority.
My understanding was you didn't have some like retarded view of this where you thought the fan family shit was like cool or normal.
Beckett said he won't talk to Aiden until he stops being annoying. It's just a cop out. It's just a cop out, and he can get away with running like that because it's me. That's literally, it's true. I just my PR stocks are down, so he can just blatantly run after making publicly litigating false claims about me. He can run, and it's somehow acceptable because even though he was making the claims about me, and I don't know, I guess that's fine. You can just do that without shame because Aiden sucks, right?
To like move people in and like do this shit
Yeah,
where you're like, but you're on stream. You didn't say anything to Falcon when that's happening. And to me, hearing someone say,
I'm not saying my PR stocks are down. Like I'm not trying to do the cheapy, I'm a victim thing. It is well deserved, right? Well deserved. But I'm saying because he perceives it as being that way, that's why he feels comfortable doing what he's doing.
Like that. It's like, what are you covering for? Who are you?
Okay. I mean, I've never protected the fan family stuff. So like I think abuse is like a high level.
I never really, if Queeman's arguing something I have an argument, I never got into the found family shit all that much. I really didn't. Why would I? When most of my criticism of Lyo is exemplified in recordings of his interactions on Discord. Why would I need to, you know, rely on the words rely on people's words of these private behind the scenes happenings? You know, I was never super big on litigating that one.
Well, it's an abusive dynamic. That's the point. He's taking people that have
these are like adults. Hold on.
Yeah. I know that. He's taking people that have no power, that have,
and all of Lyo's authority over these people is derived from verbal abuse. That's literally why he's feared by them. That's why he's respected by them, because he is able to verbally abuse people, and they are scared of that because they're all like autist losers that would have contact-free delivery and would probably have anxiety talking to a pizza delivery guy. The idea of this authoritative older man screaming at them, very loudly screaming at them, calling them worthless, fucking losers, it's scary to them. It's a terrifying prospect to them. And that is what all of his authority in these dynamics, the respect he gets and the fear, it is all derived from that.
Oftentimes nowhere to live. He's convincing them to uproot themselves because they're in abusive situations or some shit and have autism or whatever, and he moves them into his house. That is an abusive situation. The whole point there, the goal to anyone with an IQ above 90 and no disabilities themselves.
And also my favorite part is when, can you imagine, like they don't have good, like your kid doesn't have good manners, so you could just disown them, I guess. Like for with the shit with Jordan, Lyo was claiming that at Thanksgiving or something, Jordan was being disrespectful because Jordan was like just absorbed and glued to their phone the whole time and like wasn't interacting with or responding to questions or anything. For those who don't know, Jordan is a very autistic, ACC, you know, that kind of type. But Jordan is also somebody who has been through a hell of a lot, right? Jordan had a weird, I don't know about the full relationship Jordan had with their mom. I don't know if the dad was in the picture, but the mom's boyfriend or whatever was sexually abusing Jordan, right? This is somebody that has a great load of baggage. And Lyo, or somebody like Lyo, who presents themselves as some sort of authoritative figure on this subject, would know that when they take that person in. And to be honest, when I read about Jordan and their history, I would expect way worse. Them being antisocial and on their phone, that's like a big deal to you? What the fuck did you think you were getting into when you decide to take in an abused, socially maladapted autistic kid? What were you what did you think you were going to get? You think you were going to get this fucking like cheery, like, totally like social, like life of the party? Like, obviously not. You're going to be with someone who has some social problems and probably more than that. And by taking them in, you should have been ready to deal with that. And if you weren't ready to deal with that when taking them in, you're just fucking selfish because this person knows about abandonment and adults mistreatment, etc. And you're just going to have to inevitably abandon them just like the other adults in their life did because you decided to bite off more than you could chew due to your own fat fucking ego.
But can see what the point
it's
is.
It's a
there.
huge response. I think on like if there's a kid that needs parents or a good adult figure in their life and you're an older person and think you could sort of handle that or be a good friend or mentor or influence, that's great. That's great. But you need to be able to handle it. And it doesn't happen through just like people you know through online drama. We're talking about like, I don't know, your friend. I've thought like, I have a brother. Obviously, my brother's younger than me, but if my brother had kids and for whatever reason couldn't raise them or what, I don't offer them to come live with me, even though but I do so under the expectation that I could provide for a kid. It wouldn't be just some rando I met online.
I'm not a fucking retard. What, some fat old man online who wears a lion suit is just out of the kindness of his heart moving people into his home while he goes around dogging people online, screaming at them in these VCs. Give me a break.
Okay, so because that's just I don't want to defend Lio on this or anything. I'm sick of having to wrangle for him. I don't think that he did it like out of abusiveness. He did it because he's got this weird idea of Christian charity. He's like, I have.
Oh, it takes him at all. Lio is one of those people that uses religion as a shield. A lot of people get behind religion they use it as a tool. They use it as a tool to just be shitty, horrible fucking human beings. He'll love to live up to Christian ethics and virtues anytime it's beneficial to him, but when it's not, when he has to do his urge of getting into calls and shit flinging, right? All those Christian virtues that stop him from swearing and stuff just go out the window. If he lives by it so hard, when Mally was asking him to stop being the host of these conversations after he has demonstrated a complete lack of responsibility and total incompetence, he would have easily said yes. Mally made the case to Lio. What you are doing is hurting people. What you are doing is hurting people, and it can be done another way where you're not the one doing it in a manner that minimizes harm to people. All Lio had to do was step away and less people would be hurt, and Mally makes a clear, coherent, articulate case for that. A Christian, somebody who's as Christian as Lio claims to be, it would be a fucking no-brainer. Yet Lio has to keep trying to find, he's like, well, we can alter it this way so I could still be in charge of it. Because he needs to be in charge for the sake of his ego. That's where his value is derived from getting like autistic nobodies into calls and beating them down. And if he gives that up, he has to give up his pride and his fucking ego. And he'll never do that. He'll never do that.
You're a mark.
And it's fucking,
you're a fucking mark.
Yo,
you're a mark.
Too. Tiawa Abnormal. 80, who do you support for California governor? I haven't been following it at all. I support Katie Porter, dude.
You're a mark. You're a mark.
I think you need stronger evidence for abuse.
You're a what?
Freeman.
He's a what?
You're a mark.
A mark. What is a mark? Mark. Urban. You are a mark. Urban Dictionary. Someone who is gullible, easily deceived, or the target of... Okay, so like Hick Fury. But except I think Mark is honestly doing these people justice because I think that they lie about... I think they lie about the defenses they throw out. I don't think they're as gullible as... I don't think they are as gullible as you would... or as they want you to think that they are. I think a lot of this is just like willful... I know that I have this like association with somebody who's done things that are completely unjustifiable, but I am going to try to minimize and cushion some of that by going with the most charitable explanations. And I think they do so knowingly and dishonestly. I wouldn't say that it is because he's just so gullible or whatever. I think that kind of takes away some of the responsibility.
You're a mark. That's not what you're saying, you stupid fuck. If you want to say, abuse requires a specific act. I don't think the setup alone is abuse.
Honestly, this is like the persona of like most gamblers stop right before they win big. I don't know why I clicked off of this, dude. You should have been spamming in my chat. Keep going. Dude. It gets better.
Say that. What you just said to me is not that. You're a fucking mark. You saying Lio's got this weird idea. That's you taking his self-reported state of mind as fact when the actions...
Wouldn't do it for anyone else. Wouldn't do it for anyone else. Wouldn't do it for anyone else.
Totally contradict it. You're a fucking mark.
Hold on. I just said both of those. Okay. I don't want to argue about this one. I don't care.
The thing is, Queeman is not like, I don't know how in tune Queeman is with the arguments or whatever. I would literally be able to destroy Beckett on this. Fucking crush him, dude. Rip him a new asshole. because it's just like I don't think he's gullible. The reason I don't think he's gullible is because I've obsessively followed every in and out of this, and he knows all the details I know, he knows, right? If not more. He knows more about Lio than I know. Beckett told me about shit I didn't even know. He's like, well, Lio actually has doxed people. I couldn't think of a good example of Lio by definition doxing somebody. He'll use people's docs to contact, like, schools and shit, but, like, I never heard of him getting that info and then spreading it, although I was certain he did it. Beckett informed me he did. Beckett knows the arguments, but Beckett absolutely understands that the fucking Christian shit, it is literally just a shield. He just uses it as a shield, because if he lived by Christianity and this much, then it would have been a no-brainer when somebody made the case that the accountability calls cause harm to people. It would have been a no-brainer to give it up, but he couldn't.
If you want to be like, that's an abusive dynamic, I think that you need a higher standard to call it abusive. You can call it retarded.
You could see his Christian, watch the Malley call. You could just look at how he applies his Christian virtues in response to, like, amending his shitty behavior. Look at how well he applies it there.
You can call it gay. You can call it dangerous.
And I believe the argument that, oh, you sin, yet you're Christian, is retarded, okay? I think that's retarded. But for somebody who's, like, supposedly constantly introspecting and aware of their actions and constantly altering them to try to, like, remain in accordance to the word of Christ, a situation where he's actively able to introspect and the argument is made to him very clearly that his behavior is causing harm and isn't, as a result, wouldn't be in alignment with what the Bible advocates for, that just goes out the window.
And call it negligent.
This is why you are too involved. If you are such a fucking mark that you will believe Lio's self-reported
I'm not believing
state
anything.
of mind
I would say this
about having
anybody.
Christian...
And Queeman's being nice to Beckett right now. Queeman's being nice to Beckett right now, just so we're clear. Queeman is going easy by not I would have a more harsh interpretation. I think Beckett's being willfully dishonest. Queeman is giving him the benefit that he's just gullible. He's just gullible. I don't believe it for a fucking second. I don't believe it for 1 second.
Charity, and that's why he moves these people into his home.
I'm just giving you his rationale that he gave me. Hold on. I'm just giving you his rationale that he gave me. It doesn't fucking matter.
Dude,
I would say
my
this...
God. End it. He does this all the fucking time. It's always like, oh, well, some people are arguing. Oh, well, this person would argue. Oh, when they clearly were bringing it up to defend their position. Yet when they get pushed back, all of a sudden, that's somebody else's argument. That's somebody else's position. No, Beckett, you fucking coward. You were literally just arguing for that because you believed it. You didn't say, Lio thinks this. You said he did this because, meaning you've adopted the argument. So now don't sit here and just fucking lie and say, oh, well, I'm just giving you the argument he gave me. We can rewind. We can see that, no, that was not just the argument he gave you. That was the argument that you were making. So what the fuck are you talking about? What a Weasley lying cunt. Holy shit.
It's about anything. The found family.
Dude, it's actually infuriating. It is legitimately infuriating.
Stuff and moving people into your house, regardless of who you are, whether you're a Lio convoy or anybody else, is fucking
get in the fucking call, Beckett, you pussy. Get in the call.
Insanely negligent and insane. I just don't want to use the word abuse, Queeman. That's it. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, you just said to me, he does not do that to be abusive. He does it because he has this weird idea of... That's what you said to me.
Yes.
You don't say,
no, because
here's
you
his
said,
reasoning.
Because you said... No, hold on. Because you said that the only reason he could do this is abuse. I'm pushing back on that argument.
That is not what happened, Beckett. That is not...
And just saying there is another reason why he views it. It doesn't fucking matter.
No, you did not say there was another reason why he views it. You stated it factually. You stated it factually. You didn't say he said. You said it. You were the one that is saying it.
I just don't want to use the word abusive.
There is a Beckett. There is a reason in abstract where you could take someone in and it not be abuse, and it be because
the idea that he's even entertaining this as a serious argument, even if it was just something he heard, the fact that you even need to consider up until this point, if we're just truly believing this is some gullible guy who doesn't know, he never seems to know. I don't know. I have to look in. He doesn't know anything. He never fucking knows anything. If you were to take that at face value, he's already too involved that he'd even consider that because it's such overt and obvious fucking bullshit. Like, you have to be completely mind raped to actually consider that to be a legitimate or honest excuse.
because you're a good Christian. There is no reason when you look at Lyo's behavior and the things he's done and the way these situations have panned out that makes sense that is not abuse. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying there's no reason anyone could ever take someone in, but for you to respond when I'm obviously talking about Lyo's situation with his self-reported state of mind, obviously that is contradicted by the actions he takes. Obviously this guy's not a good fucking Christian. Obviously he's not got this, great idea of Christian ethics where he's got to take people in. No, he's had repeated issues with these people that he's taken in because he's an abusive, disgusting, fat old man. That's why.
Based.
I'm not trying to, like, all I'm arguing here is I don't want to sit here and use the word abusive. I've used many other words.
Okay, that's not what you said to me.
That is not.
I'll accept that you're saying that. I'll accept that you're saying that. Not what you.
The Queen is being so nice to him right now, by the way. He's just, I'll accept that. I would be here right now, yelling, being like, that's clearly a fucking lie, based on what you just said. That's obviously a fucking lie. Queenman's being so nice to even just, like, taken for that.
You said to me, and I'm not saying this to own you or some stupid shit like that, Beckett. I'm saying this, you should reflect on why you reflexively said to me, Lyo's self-reported state of mind is the reasoning for his actions in place of abuse. You should reflect on why you responded to me that way.
You're right. And it's probably because I get asked these questions so fucking much and I'm really sick of it.
Aiden is kicked in. True. Aiden is kicking his feet right now.
I just don't use the word abusive. That's all.
Okay. That's why people call you a sweeper.
Okay. Fair enough. Okay.
All right. Well, I'm good. I'm good. I think I've probably gone through everything. Do you want to say anything else or?
No, that's pretty much it.
Okay.
It's always nice to catch up.
All right. We'll leave it there then. All right. Thanks for coming on, Beckett.
Peace,
Catch you later. Okay.
Well, there you have it. Glad to see that people are acknowledging Lyo for the fat fuck that he is. And he's also a pussy that will run from a debate. And he should debate me. And if he won't debate me, because he's appalled. He's morally appalled by spreading docs. Clearly, Lyo Convoy, then I'd offer him to debate the numerous other competent people that would be totally willing to get in a call and argue with this fat fuck. He's going to deny that he's abusive. Call in a Queeman and argue with Queeman about how you're not abusive. I'll be satisfied then. I'll be satisfied. I will never challenge you to talk to me. If he goes in and argues against Queeman about why he's not abusive and takes on a competent debater, I will literally, case closed. I just would love to see you actually fight a fair fight. Aiden, your voice makes this Queeman stream way more insufferable than normal. Well, it's a good thing I never asked for your dog shit fucking opinion, so. With that being said, that's the end of that. I have to cook dinner. I prepped for it, but it's not cooked yet. Yeah. What about Green? Yeah, you should debate Green. Lyo should debate Green. That's a great idea, guys. But yeah, thank you guys so much for all the support, as always. Great stream. We hit like halfway to stream goal. Like on your way out, because the likes are just like hilariously low. So you want to support the stream? It's free, it's quick, it's easy. I will be seeing you guys tomorrow. Looking forward to it. And I will, yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.